Keeler Show today. It's time to read the news and weather. Time to figure out what to say. It's time to turn the channel of the Keeler Show today. Why do we always listen? Keeler's always in the know. It makes me want to call him and tell him where to go. And now let's get things started. Andrew, let's get things started. It's time to get things started. On the most sensational, inspirational, celebrational, Keelerational. This is what we call the Keeler Show.
WIBX 950 and 106.9 FM. This is Keeler.
Well, good morning. Good morning.
Good morning, Bill.
Yesterday, out of town for a funeral, and on my way home, I realized the jackpot for the Powerball last night was $17.73 billion. Wow. I'm sorry, $1.73 billion. Wow. So I'm like, as soon as I get home, I'm going to get my tickets. Because I play the same numbers. Because it's a weird thing in my head. Like, it'd be the one time I don't play those numbers, they'll come in. So I just play the same ones, no new numbers, same numbers. Last night, I went to purchase my little Jack Pocket numbers.
Yeah.
It's an app, of course, we've talked about it, where you can buy your lottery tickets, and it was too late. They close out at 8:30, then you can't buy anymore. So I'm like, I am not in this drawing. Probably somebody's going to win. And then I'm going to wake up in the morning, I'm going to look at my numbers that I didn't play, and they're going to come in one way or another. They're going to come in some way.
No.
And then I'm like, well, maybe I shouldn't look. Maybe I won't look. Because, of course, I'm sure by now you've heard. If you haven't, I'll tell you, there was a winner last night. Somebody, one lone ticket winner, last night in California has won the $1.73 billion jackpot. So I went through all my numbers this morning, and I was close. I was really close.
How many numbers?
On one. I don't know. And when I say close, it was I would have had the Powerball plus at least two numbers. I didn't go any deeper than that.
Oh, boy.
So, but I didn't play that one. And everything else was a wild miss. So there's, I didn't want to look because I'm thinking, could you imagine if I looked this morning, didn't play the numbers and they came in, I would have to sue somebody. Like myself. I'd sue myself probably.
That would be, brutal. Right? All right. So I'm glad you didn't win then.
I didn't win anything.
When was the last time someone ever told you that?
I clearly didn't. Right, and it was like relief.
I'm glad you didn't win, Bill.
So I think that not only did it would be terrible if somebody didn't play their numbers and they came in last night.
Oh, talk about a missed opportunity.
What would you do? What would you do?
I sometimes do the scratch-offs. Occasionally I'll buy a $5 ticket. If I'm really splurging, I'll buy a $10 ticket. But it's like,
some of those go up to like $30, $40.
Yeah, I think they have $50 and $100 tickets. Now,
Wow.
I would never. I'm sorry, I wouldn't. But my point is, I don't often play any of these numbers that are drawn daily or a couple times a week or anything like that. My grandmother used to play them. I remember one time she won, I think, 3 times in 1 year or 1 year and change. And she would play her birth year, 1929.
Hold on, what's that one? Okay, good. All right.
And
Other than that, could be lucky.
Other than that, I don't think she ever won. And she would play, what is that, win 4, pick 4? I don't know. I don't even know what she would play, but I just remember.
I feel like it is just blowing money away. I mean, your chances of winning are so low, and it's so astronomical that you don't win. But if you don't play, you can't win. You are better off just saying, you know what, I'm not going to pay any attention.
Yeah.
I'm not going to watch it. I'm not going to play. I'm not going to do anything.
I have to tell you,
I think you're better off, to be honest.
Again, when you say 1 in 292 million and change, those are your odds of winning. When I think about that, it's like, why would I even waste the money? But as they say, I know it was, 31, 35 drawings since somebody had won?
Yeah, 30. I think this would have been the 32nd drawing.
They say someone's going to win. Someone's going to win it, So it's not like, I don't know. It's just such a long shot. And it makes me wonder. I know the odds don't change. No matter how many people play or how many tickets you buy. I guess maybe it does change if you buy more tickets. Maybe your odds go up a little bit. It's 1 in 292 million is the odds on playing one set of numbers. But I just wonder, how many tickets does that represent? How many tickets were purchased yesterday?
Boy, I got to tell you, based on standing in a convenience store line, a lot of them over the last few days, there are lines where people are trying to buy their tickets. So it is what it is. There was a winner last night. We'll be happy for that person. Give me a break. It's in California, where I think pretty heavy in taxes. So they'll probably take the cash option, which will cut it in half. And then maybe almost a half again in taxes. But hey, you're walking away with some pretty good money. Come further on that.
I just one more thing.
Pretty good money, isn't that the understatement of the day?
So only once,
It's
typically,
funny too, because each time there's been only one winner. Are you noticing that? Every time there's been a winner, it shows you how astronomical the chances of coming up with the numbers is, because each time we're only getting one person. It's not like 5 different tickets were sold with the winning numbers.
So if, like, for instance, if the winner was in New York, last night the winner was in California, and they often say, lottery, is it only New York lottery that it goes to education? My question being, if the winner was in New York, that tax revenue that gets taken from it, they say you basically cut it in half.
Right.
Does that go to education, or does that just go to the general fund?
I don't know how they work it, because this is a lottery that plays around the nation in many states.
Right.
But I think New York lottery goes to education. I don't know how it all works, though. It would be interesting to see how much really does go, right? Speaking of money, the National Grid has come out to say households this year during this upcoming El Nino, which means they're believing we'll have warmer temperatures than usual. We'll have climbs in higher temperatures, and then it'll go down. It could also mean, because of this, more snow, because there is off the Great Lakes, the lakes will be a little warmer.
Yeah.
National Grid has predicted that upstate households will pay 18% less this winter than a year ago for natural gas.
How cool is that?
That's a positive. The average residential bill for November through March is forecasted to be $639, or about $143 less than last winter on average. It compares with average winter bills of $496 in 2021, $674 in 22, and $782 last year. That's pretty high, though, right? Paying $639 to heat your home. I think that's. But they say that is the average number
for the season.
For the season per month, the average residential bill for November. I don't know. I guess it would be November through March is $639.
Wow!
So you split that between those months.
So 5 months.
That's actually pretty low when
divided
you think about
by, let's call it $640. I think that would be $128.
So October, November, December, January, February, March. So it's split through 6 months.
Oh, 6 months.
6 months. Yep.
So, okay, yeah, well, I guess, yeah, because, like, now at this time of year, I finally turned the heat on yesterday. I couldn't deal with it. Plus, I feel like garbage, so I was just in my house freezing. I'm like, I'm turning
chilly,
the heat on.
Right? If you're not running heat, probably your temperature is going to be in the lower 60s in your home.
Yeah, I think it was like 58 yesterday.
So, wow, that is
it was
chilly.
I couldn't deal with it.
Now, when you're paying less for your natural gas, get ready, because you're going to be paying more if you have Disney Plus. The increasing prices, again, with a new rate of $13.99 per month, set to go into effect on Thursday, today. So it's not like you're going to be able to take advantage of lower prices, or you could cancel. Thursday, October 12th, along with the price hikes for Disney-owned streaming services, ESPN Plus and Hulu, the prices are all going up. $13.99 here, $13.99 there. All of a sudden, you're paying right up there with what you used to pay for cable. And, oh, by the way, you still have to have your internet connection and where you're going to get that from. Yeah. Did you see Jim Carrey was in upstate New York recently? No. Jim Carrey was doing what is called a sound bath. Look that up. The actor, Golden Globe Award-winning actor and comedian, spotted in the Adirondacks participating in what is known as a sound bath. Andrea Lisette Vieira, a certified sound healing practitioner for Sound Healing Adirondacks, shared a photo of herself with Carrey on Facebook on Monday. She joked that she had to stand on a pillow just to be close to the same height as Carrey because he is so tall. So, sound bath. Do you know what that is?
Yeah, I just looked it up. So, in general, a sound bath is a meditative experience where those in attendance are bathed in sound waves.
IBX, please hold. Bathed in sound waves.
The waves are produced by various sources, including healing instruments like gongs, singing bowls, percussion, chimes, rattles, tuning forks, and even a human voice itself.
Well, if you've got, if you have that kind of time and that kind of money to blow, I guess you'll feel better when you walk out the door. Wow. The actors and Hollywood studios are still at odds. Even though the writer's strike is over, the Actors Guild is still in as part of a strike with the Hollywood studios. And right now, the studios have walked away from the bargaining table, which means still, even though the writers are back, the actors are not, which means movies and that sort of thing. Now, you're going to get your late-night talk shows and Saturday Night Live and all of that stuff back. But as for but as for movies, that's still on hold. Brandon Williams is making a little bit of news as he has moved to expel George Santos from Congress. Representative Brandon Williams, who represents us, among 6 New York Republican House members who plan to introduce a resolution that would expel George Santos from Long Island from Congress. The resolution from the 6 GOP House freshmen comes a day after federal prosecutors filed new charges against Santos. And they just keep piling up. Is that Tanya? Tanya J. Powers in New York City with Fox News Radio. Good morning.
Good morning.
I thought that was kind of interesting that all of the Republican members of Congress stepping up to say enough is enough when it comes to George Santos. I don't know where it will end up going, but they are introducing a resolution to oust him. I thought your story was interesting this morning, Tanya. ACT scores around the country. Is this post-COVID? Obviously, it would be post-COVID if it's right now. But they are at a record low, it seems. Scores,
yes.
Anyway.
And with this, for context, last year the average score was 19.8. Now, an ACT score is what we're talking about here. The highest ACT score is 36. Just so everybody understands where we're at. The average this year for high school students in the U.S. was 19.5. Last year it was 19.8. So it's a small dip, but it has apparently been falling. Those scores have been falling for the last 6 years. So this is not just a COVID thing. So I want to make sure we have a lot of context around what we're talking about here, because it's easy to see, like the headline is, it's a 30-year low, and they've dipped. Well, they have dipped. And some of this is because of COVID, but they were actually on the decline before that.
It's interesting. There have been stories where it looks like colleges and universities rely on those scores less than they used to, but, you wonder. Then there's a story out today talking about the schools in New York that are really hard to get into if you're trying to go off to college.
Oh, yeah. I mean, there's been a lot of reporting on that, especially in the last 6 months to a year. I've seen several, in-depth investigative pieces on, how difficult it is to get into, certain colleges and universities, way harder than one would think.
Yeah.
A lot of universities, like you said, have made standardized admissions tests optional. Some of them don't look at the scores, even if they're submitted, like the University of California system. Even if you submit your ACT or SAT scores, they don't look at it.
Okay.
So this is kind of more of a trend that we've seen in recent years of colleges and universities. Used to that where you went depended a lot on what your score was.
Right.
That's not necessarily the case in all of them now.
Okay, interesting stuff. And you said the top score that someone can get on their ACTs is, did you say 36?
Yes.
Yeah, okay. So I guess I got to stop saying I got 100 on my ACTs.
I mean, people who know are probably going to call you out on that.
You're probably right. You're probably right. I'll just say, listen, they've changed the scoring since I did it. It's all different now.
There you go.
All right, Tanya, have a wonderful day. Thank you so much. We appreciate it.
Thank you.
All right, Tanya J. Powers from Fox News. An Oneida County man who's already in state prison on porn charges, child pornography charges, now faces a lengthy federal prison sentence. Chad Strogai of Vernon, a 40-year-old, sentenced Wednesday to another 25 years in federal prison for possessing and distributing child pornography. Listen, if you have an internet connection at your home, and I think most people do today, so you have your Wi-Fi, and how many people take that Wi-Fi and you hate to have a tough password? It's a pain in the neck, right, to constantly have to try to connect. Somebody else wants to connect. You got to give them the password. Make those passwords difficult. You know how he was uploading and downloading porn? He was using other people's internet connections, according to federal prosecutors.
Wow.
He would drive within range, go within range of somebody else's internet connection, find something that was unprotected, and would log on and download from there. And they still caught him. He's a registered sex offender for a crime in Florida, used his cell phone and laptop near an unsecured home Wi-Fi access point to upload and download child porn. Court documents and prosecutors provided the following details. On February 16th, back in 2017, they say he uploaded to a Dropbox account graphic video files containing images of a minor and minors engaged in sexually explicit conduct. Over 2 years later, he possessed material that contained images of child porn. Prosecutors said he admitted to possessing more than 100 child porn files in October 2019. And all of this happened on somebody else's internet account.
It's fortunate that they weren't.
I would kind
arrested,
of, so
right?
you don't have a secured internet account, and I would worry that you would be the one nailed for uploading and downloading the photos.
You
right?
would think so, right?
Yeah. It all seemed to work out for the homeowner, but man, you should have a secure network. Have a strong password. For most computers and phones, once you log in, it should automatically continue to log in. You shouldn't have to enter the password in order to get in there.
I have my internet through Spectrum, but I bought my own, because they charge you. I think it's like a couple bucks a month.
You bought your own router.
Yeah.
Okay.
And there's a
All right.
password that comes on the unit, like it's right on the back.
You probably should, I don't know. Do you change that? I don't know.
I don't know.
All I know is our password for our Wi-Fi is you have to look it up every time you use it because it is like 30 or 40 different characters.
Yeah.
It's pretty long. That's just getting so ridiculous today to try to memorize all of these passwords.
Yeah.
And then when you do memorize them, they're so long. Is that a 0 or is that an O? And is that a capital or is that lowercase? By the time you're done, you keep putting it in over and over again in order to get it to work. Mike Lindell, the CEO of My Pillow, is crying on his pillow these days. He is out of dough.
Yeah, so I it's funny. I saw a headline that said he was crying, but I watched part of the video, and I didn't see him crying.
He was begging. He wasn't crying.
So his lawyers have cut him loose, he said.
So what has happened here is they're saying that he owes thousands and thousands of dollars to his lawyers, and he cannot pay them. So the lawyers have now gone to court to say, listen, we can't afford to represent this guy. You got to cut us free. We want to be cut free. Attorneys for My Pillow CEO Mike Lindell are asking to quit. They are asking the courts for permission to quit his case According to court documents, Lindell faces a $1.3 billion defamation lawsuit by voting machine companies Smartmatic and Dominion Voting Systems. He has been out saying they cheated. They helped Joe Biden get elected. The problem is there is absolutely zero evidence to show. In fact, they have proven with evidence that it did not happen. There was no cheating. The machines were not used to cheat the election. And now they're suing Mike Lindell, and he's out there. He's still claiming, though, that he's right, and he will someday be able to prove that they cheated.
So
and that the moon is flat, and so's the Earth.
I've seen some interviews with him, and I don't know. I forget what his explanation is. It's something along the lines of it came to him in a dream. I don't know if it was the evidence or the proof came to him in what he considers to be evidence or proof came to him in a dream, and he was.
Oh my God!
I know, but the person interviewing him said, "So, why do you think that like this information is being channeled through you, like a pillow salesman?"
Yeah.
And I don't know. He gets like offended by that question, but so I did see. Right, he's got to file for bankruptcy because he does not. I don't know why doesn't he ask his buddy Don John?
He has sold off so much equipment, and I think they've ended up outsourcing a lot of the making of the pillows. And he's saying, if you want to help me, buy my pillows. We need a lot of pillows sold to be able to raise the money I'm going to need to defend myself. By the way, along your line, Mike says, I'm sure Mike's big buddy Donald Trump will come to his monetary defense. Not. And that's not going to happen.
He's not gonna
Mike also says, I think Republicans should put forth a resolution to make George Santos a Democrat. Don't oust him. Make him a Democrat. Let him be their problem.
That's funny.
So
wait, they want to oust him from Congress or oust him from committees?
I believe they want to expel him after the latest charges have come down. Now, Brandon Williams was on the air just earlier this week on Monday saying it's almost impossible to get rid of a member of Congress because they have been elected. But I think that there is a process where it can be done, and I think since the latest that we have learned from authorities, I believe that's the road they're going down. They're introducing a resolution. Davey, good morning. Everything okay in there? Good morning.
Good morning.
Yeah.
I think it should be difficult because even though this guy is just a scum and he takes advantage of people and he lies constantly, he was elected by the people in his district, right? So I think there should be something said for that. But his latest claim is that he was stealing identities from people who were donating to his campaign, his own supporters who were, making monetary donations to his campaign. If they were using some type of card, I guess, or maybe he was just taking their names and making up other information. But the allegation, the latest, is that he was stealing from his donors.
He is a bit of a pathological person to deal with, right? We have a bunch to get to today. I want to talk a little baseball and some history from last night. We'll get to that and baseball history. We'll talk about Jimmy Fallon coming to town and veterans. Davey, is it all right to do that? I see we're good, right? Yeah. We'll talk about Stefan Rubitsky. Believe me, at some point we'll get to that. Adam Lark is a professor at Hamilton College. He'll be on this morning, and there is a lunar eclipse this weekend. It'll happen on Saturday, and this is one of those where you should not look at it with your bare eye, without protective equipment, whether it be approved glasses or what have you. You cannot look at it through a cell phone. You cannot look at it through a telescope. You have to have a protecting device, or you will cause problems with your eyesight.
It's a solar eclipse or a lunar eclipse?
It is I believe it's I guess it would be a solar. I'll get you the exact title of it, and the professor will explain it to us. But this is going to be on Saturday, the Ring of Fire. So what happens is the moon is so far away from the Earth right now at this point, it does come across and will block the sun, but it does not block the sun entirely. And because of that, you'll be able to see the sun, a ring of the sun around the moon at that perfect spot, and it'll look like a ring of fire. We call it Johnny Cash Day. So the professor will be on later on this morning. We'll get the details from him.
Do you remember a few years ago? I know they had special glasses, but weren't people making? They were using like I don't know, not like a toilet paper tube.
You can do all of those things. There are instructions we'll get into, and you can make your own homemade little kit.
Okay.
Or there are plenty of places where you can buy glasses and all of that. We'll speak with Adam Lark on it coming up. Mohawk Valley Crimestoppers One Person of the Week. Brett Baier is on the radio here this morning. Davey, right? That's true? Yep. He has a new book out. We're going to speak with him coming up later on this morning. Darlene Stromstad from the Wynn Hospital. We'll speak with her. You know the Comets are opening up tomorrow night at the Adirondack Bank Center. Big, big, big. The Utica Comets are back, and so is the 72 Tavern and Grill. We'll speak with Stoney from over there, Jeff Stone, a little later on this morning. John Decker is on. Rick Lewis is in studio. Busy, busy, busy.
It is crazy busy today. So yesterday, with Andrew and Joe, we talked to one of the Comets players, Ryan. His name was, ready? Ryan Schmelzer. Now, we talk to the kid from Fox often, and his name is Ryan Schmelz.
Yeah.
That was just funny. He's from Buffalo, though, and he's...
He is a captain. Well, listen, let me tell you something. I was out in Buffalo yesterday for a family funeral and made our way back last night, but a lot of talk about the Utica Comets. I did. He's all over every car. Every car has a Josh Allen picture on it. It's unbelievable, the number of people in Buffalo. It's wild. So anyway, they watch very cute because obviously you can go see the Sabres play, but they keep an eye on Rochester, keep an eye on Utica and Syracuse. AHL plays a big role. So even those NHL towns are enamored by what's going on in Utica with hockey. And also, family members of ours were all about all of the changes at the Nexus Center and the Adirondack Bank Center.
Yeah, it's going to be a huge
Pretty
thing.
wild.
And obviously, they're hosting the Women's International Championship.
Big deal.
In April.
Let me break and we'll come back. And I want to talk about baseball history from last night. We'll do that. It's 6:48. It's Thursday morning at WIBX.
Ready for a smoother and safer ride? Head to Tallman's Tire and Auto Repair, your trusted tire experts. At Tallman's Tire and Auto Repair, you'll get expert advice from their knowledgeable staff, who know that every vehicle is different. And right now, it's the preseason tire sale at Tallman's Tire and Auto Repair. Buy any 4 installed Nokian snow or all-weather tires and $100 instant rebate. Get the tires you and your vehicle deserve at the best prices guaranteed. From Tallman's Tire and Auto Repair, with locations in Utica, Yorkville, Rome, and Herkimer. Online at tallmanstire.com.
Identity theft shows no signs of slowing down. In fact, more than $29 billion were stolen last year alone. That's a criminal success story and a wake-up call for everyone else. It can be dangerously easy to steal your identity. LifeLock makes it easy to help protect yourself if you become a victim. A dedicated U.S.-based restoration specialist will work to fix it. Join now and save up to 25% your first year with my name, Clay, as your promo code at LifeLock.com, promo code Clay.
I'm Irene Kurtelowicz, and I've been a hospice nurse for over 32 years. My passion and my love is to take care of our hospice patients and families who are at home surrounded by the people and the things they love most. Our hospice team brings comfort, continuity, dignity, and compassion 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. The patient and their caregiver never need to feel alone. We are just a phone call away. Family members always want the best of care for their loved one, and one of the things hospice affords me is the opportunity to go above and beyond the normal care that a person could receive. My position allows me to provide quality care to the patient and provide much-needed support to the family. Patients do not want to leave the comfort of their home and their loved ones. We all know there is no place like home, and it is our privilege and honor to care for them wherever they call home. I encourage anyone who could benefit from our services to call today.
Hospice and palliative care. When you need us most.
Hey, did you know you can get credit on your taxes for making energy improvements to your home, like new windows? And the experts at New York Sash have all the information you need to take advantage with the new energy rebates for 2023. You can get tax credits of 30% off the cost of new windows, up to $600. But even better than that, For a limited time, New York Sash will match your window tax credit. Install brand new energy-efficient New York Sash brand windows in your home. Get a credit on your taxes, and New York Sash will match it. Now, to claim the credit on your taxes this year, you obviously, we're coming up on mid-October here. Your new windows need to be installed by the end of the year, and that can be done, but it means you should call today to get into the schedule before time runs out. Contact New York Sash. We've done it in our home. Love the New York Sash windows. In our old home, we had New York Sash windows. Easy to open. They're guaranteed. Easy to clean. Easy to close in the wintertime, and they keep that cold air out. They're energy efficient replacement windows from New York Sash. And right now, you can get up to $1,200 back as part of this program. Restrictions may apply. Visit the showroom or call them today, 315-624-7344, New York Sash.
WIBX 950 and 106.9 FM. This is Keeler.
And the official coffee of the Keeler in the Morning radio program is Daylight Donuts. Pumpkin is back. And so is the apple cider donuts and all of that fall delicious stuff at Daylight Donuts. You can check it out. Thanksgiving dinner is just a little ways away. There's snowflake rolls. They'll be putting people on the list. You got to sign up for these, and you get the snowflake rolls for your Thanksgiving dinner. Hard to believe we're already talking about Thanksgiving. Daylight Donuts, a speedy drive-through. You're in, you're out, and you're on your way. What? You have stuff?
Well, I have people questioning what happened with Stefan, and
I cannot get into it because I told my wife, I am not going to talk about it because people will say to me, you're an idiot. That's what they'll say to me. And I don't want to talk about it. I should have mentioned it a little while ago. Oh my God. And then, you get in that situation where you're thinking, all right, I'm just going to bed. That's it. I'm not going to deal with it. But then you're like, okay, now he's going to be out in this town that he shouldn't be in, and he's going to be out in the cold. Something could happen. And I'm going to end up feeling guilty about it. So all I'm telling you is anything I did last night will be paid back. I'm not doing this anymore.
He promised an IOU?
Yes.
Little napkin? Bill,
the IOU is an IWG for me. I will get it. I'm not screwing around. And, nobody's to be found. No family. You can't find any family. Everybody's just enough is enough. Holy cow! He's got to stop doing this stuff.
So we talked about this. I think this was part of your free money question of the day, or it's one you didn't ask earlier this week.
It was a brilliant question, I'm sure.
It was about the flag of some country, and it's a unicorn. The official animal of some country is a unicorn.
The official animal of, I believe it was, I forget where.
Well, and I think my reply was, what about here if we changed it to a Bigfoot, a Sasquatch?
Yes.
There was a couple different things I threw at you. A couple on a romantic break in Colorado claims to have captured the mythological creature Bigfoot on camera wandering on the side of a mountain before sitting down to rest. It all happened in broad daylight. This is via the New York Post. They have photos up, and the headline is, "He was popping a Sasquatch." Professed eyewitnesses Shannon and Stetson Parker, enjoying a trip for their 20th wedding anniversary, claim to have observed the legendary lummox while enjoying a sightseeing tour on the narrow gauge rail line, between Durango and Silverton in the Centennial State's far southwest. "We were looking for elk in the mountains. My husband sees something moving. He can't really explain it. He's like, Bigfoot." Shannon, a 44-year-old contractor from Cheyenne, Wyoming, told the New York Post. Now, they have some pictures.
The fact that the New York Post is even covering this, I love. But
you got to see the pictures. It's clearly a guy. I don't think I don't think it's Bigfoot.
I've seen people at Walmart that look like Bigfoot, right?
This guy's got...
You've seen him, Davey. I know you have.
He's got something on. The best way I can describe it, and again, it's a very mountainous, rolling hills type area that this is a photograph of. It seems to be If you've ever seen these movies with, what's his name? He used to be Mark Wahlberg, where he's like the sniper or the shooter, or he's got like 8 movies like this, where he's in this disguise and you can't see him laying in the hill because he's got part of his outfit.
Correct.
There's like actual branches on him, right?
Right.
That's kind of what this looks like. But I just saw the headline and it's like, basically that they have photo proof that they saw Sasquatch.
Dumbest. Listen, is there a chance that there could be somebody out there who's living living off the grid?
I'm off the grid.
I mean, the Unabomber kind of looked like Bigfoot, right? By the time he came out, he was drawn out. Remember, his brother's the one who actually turned him in. The guy looked like he was a Bigfoot. So, this is the fact that they get a story in the New York Post just blows my mind. Last night, the Arizona Diamondbacks not only won the National League Division Series, but they also made baseball history. They had blasted 3 home runs already in the bottom of the third when Christian Walker appeared to have hit a 4th just inside the foul pole, but it really wasn't. Here is what happened. Check out the audio.
Right field, Hayward toward the line, near the foul pole. Fair ball, home run. Might be worth a challenge. The camera doesn't lie in this case, and it looks foul.
The call on the field is confirmed. Foul ball.
That was a historical call right there. Never in the postseason has there been 4 home runs in an inning.
Ever?
Ever.
More than 100 years ago?
Postseason history.
Wow. So, Christian Walker has the home run erased and then hits the next pitch to the moon.
Wow.
There's your 4th home run.
Isn't that amazing? They were just talking about how, you know what, it looked like it, but it wasn't. We thought we had history. We didn't. And then the very next pitch.
Wow.
Knocks it out, and there was no question about that one. It's the first time ever in the history of Major League Baseball that a team in the playoffs has hit 4 home runs in 1 inning. How about that, Davey?
Great. Jeff, can you name the 2 announcers that were on that clip?
So one of them was Bob Costas.
Sounded like Costas.
The other one was John Smoltz? Oh, it was Darling. How did I not catch that?
So Darling does a lot of extra stuff.
He does TBS, yeah.
And, the team is, what's his name?
Keith Hernandez?
Keith Hernandez and
Gary Cohen.
But Hernandez is one who is – Hernandez is there because his legendary status. Now, Ron Darling was a pitcher of a member of the 86 championship Mets, a great pitcher for the Mets, right? Very, very much the case. But Ron Darling's a smart guy. I believe he might have been like Hartford or something like that, played wherever. You have to look that up. But anyway, Hernandez doesn't get the national gigs because he is a home team guy and will oftentimes just be sitting there eating, munching away and be like, this is stupid. He forgets that he's like supposed to be a part of a broadcast team. And if he doesn't like something, he'll start yelling about it and be like, I'm done with this. I'm just walking away. I love Keith Hernandez, but he would never make it on the national broadcast.
No, he wouldn't.
Ron Darling, however, yes.
Yeah, he's excellent. He went to Yale University, by the way.
Yeah. Not bad, right? Do I have time for one more to squeeze in here? A guy, okay. Do you want the YouTube or do you want the young girl screaming or the trooper? Let's go with the trooper. An Arkansas state trooper is retiring after performing a pit maneuver on the wrong vehicle a month ago. Officers Thomas Hubbard has not been on duty since the incident. Here's the lawyer, Andrew Norwood, calling what the officer did negligence. He has since retired. Here's audio.
The old policy was essentially the officer could do it if that officer believed it was okay to do it, minus a couple exceptions. Somebody on a motorcycle, somebody in the back of a truck. We moved away from that, minus those couple exceptions, to more of an objective standard, which is what a reasonable officer would do under those circumstances. That's just negligence, right? Like to drive up on a car and not be able to check a license plate or not be able to check other circumstances to make sure you're pitting the right car.
Now, the driver and the one passenger were not injured. They declined medical treatment, and that worked out, but he is retired. Got a break. Hold on. WIBX Utica Rome. It is 7 o'clock.
2,600 dead. I'm Chris Foster. Fox News. About the same number killed on both sides of Israel's war with Hamas terrorists in Gaza. That number in Gaza is expected to go up a lot more in Israeli airstrikes and possibly next a ground invasion.
There are thousands of troops deployed, though the fight fighting really has not even begun, according to the Israeli military. Overnight, there was a lull in rocket fire from the Strip. The Israelis associate this with the fact that Hamas does not have an unlimited supply of rockets, so they've reduced their fire to about 200 to 400 rockets a day, some targeting southern Israel, others central Israel, in an effort to basically conserve their supply.
Fox's Trey Yingst in southern Israel. Secretary of State Antony Blinken's in Tel Aviv meeting with Israeli leaders about the war. An auto workers' strike expands.
The United Auto Workers says nearly 9,000 union members at Ford's Kentucky truck plant in Louisville have joined the UAW strike. About 25,000 at other plants were already on the picket line. The union said the walkout came after Ford refused to make further movement in bargaining. Ford called the decision by the UAW to strike at the plant grossly irresponsible but unsurprising. The Kentucky plant is where the very profitable large F-Series trucks are made. Jill Nato, Fox News.
It's been 9 days since Kevin McCarthy was voted out as House Speaker. It's unclear how long it'll take to elect a new one. The Republicans' new nominee for the job, Steve Scalise, does not have the votes to win a vote on the House floor.
At least a dozen Republicans now have publicly lined up against him. He can only afford to lose 4, meaning he's all but certain to lose a first ballot, and that means we're going to probably have a protracted battle for that position.
Fox's Kevin Corke in D.C. One winning Powerball ticket is sold in California for the second largest lottery jackpot in U.S. lottery history, more than $1.7 billion. America's listening to Fox News.
Pure Talk, America's wireless company, is on a mission to alleviate $10 million in military debt by Veterans Day, but they're going to need your help. Now, Pure Talk will donate a percentage of every new order to this great cause. When you make the switch, they make it simple, fast, and easy to their super fast 5G network. Talk, text, plenty of data now, only at $20 a month. Do it right now. Dial pound 250. Say the keyword SAVE NOW. Make the switch to Pure Talk, and you can help a military member in need.
Identity theft shows no signs of slowing down. In fact, more than $29 billion were stolen last year alone. That's a criminal success story and a wake-up call for everyone else. It can be dangerously easy to steal your identity. LifeLock makes it easy to help protect yourself if you become a victim. A dedicated U.S.-based restoration specialist will work to fix it. Join now and save up to 25% your first year with my name, Clay, as your promo code at LifeLock.com, promo code Clay.
We have mostly cloudy skies, 48 degrees. WIBX News Time is 7:03. This news update is brought to you by My Carl's. Only at My Carl's, reclining sofas starting at $3.99 each. A huge selection of rocket recliners at $2.99 each. My Carl's in the new Hartford Shopping Center. Well, some good news. We don't often get this, but National Grid says it should actually cost you less to heat your home this winter. The utility company says natural gas heating bills are likely to fall by over 18% during the 2023-24 winter heating season. This drop is due to higher natural gas production and supply domestically, along with lower demand on the international market. People who are worried about being able to pay their bills can still sign up for help through the Customer Savings Initiative program. A sex offender from central New York will be spending 25 years in federal prison. The U.S. Attorney's Office says 40-year-old Chad Srogi of Vernon both had and distributed child pornography. Srogi used his cell phone and laptop to connect to Wi-Fi so that he could commit these crimes. Back in 2020, Srogi was sentenced on a state charge for promoting a sexual performance by a child. The state of New York is taking action to help protect kids online. A new piece of legislation was announced by Governor Kathy Hochul yesterday that regulates unhealthy social media usage. Another measure will ban platforms from collecting and sharing the personal data of minors. Months ago, the U.S. Surgeon General released an advisory about the effects of social media on teens. Governor Hochul says she believes kids are in crisis and adults need to step up to help protect them. Some new data shows that New York State ranks number 1 in the country when it comes to teen driver safety. The study conducted by Wallet Hub took in factors like safety, driving laws, and economic environment. Since 2003, the Empire State has seen an 80% decline in deadly vehicle crashes where a younger driver was involved. And if you or a young person in your life is preparing to go to college, there is a new list out with the 10 most difficult schools to get into in New York State. You can see the full list on our website, but on the list, Colgate University ranked 8th, Hamilton College was 6th, Cornell University was 2nd, number 1 in the state was Columbia University with an admittance rate of 4%. WIBX News Time coming up on 7:06. Your Weather Center forecast comes to you from Eyewitness News.
I'm Eyewitness News Chief Meteorologist Craig Flint in the WIBX Weather Center. Today, any lake effect rain showers drift south in the morning and fizzle. Then partly cloudy by afternoon, a high near 60. Tonight, mostly clear, chilly by morning, a low of 37. And Friday, sunshine to increasing afternoon clouds, a high of 58. For more on your local forecast, tune to Eyewitness News at 6 on WUTR. I'm meteorologist Craig Flint on WIBX 950 and 106.9 FM.
All right, sports from the IBEW 43 Sports Desk. The Arizona Diamondbacks advance to the NLCS. They beat the Dodgers last night 4-2. They sweep the series 3-0. Gerardo Perdomo, Ketel Marte, Christian Walker, and Gabriel Moreno set a postseason record as they all homered in the third inning. Arizona goes back to the NLCS for the first time since 2007. The reigning champion Houston Astros are headed back to the ALCS for the 7th consecutive year. They beat the Twins last night, a final of 3-2 at Target Field. Houston will now take on the AL West rival Texas. In other action, the Phillies crushed the Braves 10-2 at Citizens Bank Park. They now lead the series 2-1 and look to advance if they can win tonight against the Braves. Thursday night football tonight on WIBX. The Chiefs and Broncos clash. Kansas City will host Denver in an AFC West battle at Arrowhead Stadium. The Broncos have lost 15 straight games to the Chiefs, dating back to 2015. Travis Kelce suffered an ankle injury in their win last week. He is officially listed as questionable for tonight's game.
How many touchdowns does Kansas City win by despite that?
Well, they really don't have a solid receiving core without him. I don't know.
Could it make this a game even with the Broncos?
I'm hoping it's a game. I'm sick of watching blowouts. Like Sunday night was a blowout. There's some news there. The NFL is expected to hand down a fine to San Francisco 49ers tight end George Kittle. ESPN says the league is considering a fine for a T-shirt that he wore under his uniform that said, "Bleep Dallas."
I guess you could see it. Is that the issue? You could see what it said.
I guess so.
Because otherwise, who cares?
Yeah, it's
if you can't see it, who cares?
The league, though, keep in mind they have very, 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 very strict rules on the uniform.
You must have been able to see through it. You must have been able to see it.
You can't have any variations. I even think they mandate the type or the brand. Like you can't wear like a red sweatshirt under your, like say you're the 49ers. You can't wear a red sweatshirt. It's got to be the official team uniform. Licensed.
Okay. All right.
So I'm sure at some point somebody saw it. It's expected he'll get a $10,000 fine for that. And the Colts have placed quarterback Anthony Richardson on injured reserve. That means he'll miss at least the next 4 weeks with a shoulder injury.
All right. Hey, I want to bring up a little something that out of this whole Stefan thing that we were talking about, there is something we can take away and learn from.
Don't answer your phone when he calls.
This is shocking. Although Mike this morning said, listen, no worries. People think you're an idiot despite the fact that you help out Stefan. Thank you for that, Mike. I appreciate that, and you're probably very right. All right. So listen to this. So I get the call. It's late. It's like 10:30 at night. Can't get a cab. Can't get an Uber. The cab is going to cost over $200 to come from Oneonta to here. Well, I'm not paying that. And an Uber, he said, I got an Uber for $38. Okay, that's an assassin. That's someone who's going to take you and have his way with you somewhere in the rural areas between Oneonta and here, right? Because there's no Uber driver that's going to say, yeah, I'll take you from Oneonta to Utica for $38.
Yeah, I couldn't imagine.
Right? So then it came to the hotel. So first hotel we went to was closed. And for some reason they're like, you better get off this property. Somebody that was inside, I don't know, it was closed up. Second one we found was a hotel that is a registered hotel. So it's a real hotel. And so I make a phone call. What's it going to cost us? And the woman at the front desk said, well, let's see, for tonight, that's 10:30 at night. This is found money. You do this, right?
And I always say you keep it.
Who is going to check in at 10:30 at night? I mean, if you're a hotel, this is money that you didn't think you were going to get.
Right.
Do you know what the room cost? In Oneonta, New York, $270 for the room. What? So my wife was like, that doesn't make any sense. You know why? Because you can't. The days of booking direct to a hotel now, don't do it. You're going to get screwed. We went to booking.com, and the room was, with taxes, was $90. Now, $90 in Oneonta to me is expensive, especially at 10:30 at night.
Yeah.
You're going to just put your head on the pillow, wake up in the morning, get your free breakfast, and you're gone. But they were charging, if you called the front desk, the charge was $270. We paid $90 through booking.com. So now, meanwhile, I have the woman on the phone, and I said, are you kidding me? $270? She said, yes, I'm sorry, that's the rate. So I'm like, hold on a second. So while I'm on the phone with her and I can hear Stephen in the background, do
you have a vending machine here?
Is the Snickers 75 cents or are those free? My wife gets on booking.com. We ordered the room and it's $90. And I gave the woman the confirmation number, and I didn't even get into it because it was late at night. I wanted to say, do you think this is cool? The person who walks into your hotel you're going to charge them $270, and I can get it for $90 online?
Well,
it just doesn't make any sense.
It doesn't. I would imagine if there's a limited selection out there, they feel like if you're coming to us at 10:30 at night, you must not have any other place to go.
So it used to be they would say, well, you can negotiate a rate. Like in New York City, you can negotiate a rate. It's 10 o'clock at night. You're not going to book anybody else in here.
Yeah.
All right, we'll give you this rate. But tomorrow you stay another night, it's going to cost you this amount. Okay, fine. What I'm saying to you is don't book through the front desk anymore. If you have to travel, these websites, and there are 3 or 4 very reputable versions of them, including booking.com. You will significantly save.
Wow.
Yeah. So the beauty of this is for us, whenever we travel or go anywhere, it all goes to my wife. I don't know what she's doing. I have no idea, but you can do magic with booking.com. That should be their new slogan.
Yeah, that's like a third. That's literally a third of the rate.
It's unbelievable.
66% off.
Okay, I wanted to talk before we break here and switch over to Adam Lark, who's a professor at Hamilton College. Adam, good morning. Thanks for coming on.
Morning.
So,
Thanks for having me.
Can you? I'm sorry, I booked this late as I was driving in last night from out of town. So, if you could just tell everyone, are you in the science department? Explain what you do and what you teach at Hamilton College.
Yeah, I'm an astronomer at Hamilton College, a physicist technically.
Okay.
And so I've been there about 10 years, and I teach physics and astronomy.
This is a very exciting weekend for an astronomer and for the average human being, right?
That's right. This Saturday, the eclipse is coming around. Basically, all of North America is going to be able to see some form of a partial solar eclipse.
Now, what do you think we will see here? Are we going to be able to see the full ring of fire?
Not at all.
Okay.
So the ring of fire is going to be mostly kind of southwest, kind of the Texas, Arizona, California territory.
Okay, all right.
But from our angle, we're going to see a little bit of an eclipse. It's about a 20% coverage. And I've been keeping an eye on the weather. If you'd asked me yesterday, I would have said it would be mostly rain and clouds.
Yeah.
Now it's looking like mostly clouds. But that's a very different scenario because we can actually get out telescopes and keep an eye on the eclipse.
So what now? Is it safe to, everything that I've read says it's not, to look through a telescope or to look through binoculars or anything like that?
Yeah, that's correct. Even your phone is not supposed to be taking pictures of this thing.
Okay.
Because it's the sun. I mean, you can't be looking at the sun.
Right.
What you need is a pair of solar eclipse glasses. And I'll say this just in case anybody's traveling. Even the Ring of Fire, if you get to see it, it sounds amazing. It's about 90% covered if you're in like kind of the southwest.
Yeah.
But that's you still need some kind of solar eclipse glasses or some kind of filter over it.
Okay.
I would look for a verified solar eclipse glass. And if you're in the area, I'm going to be doing a party.
Okay.
An eclipse viewing party at Hamilton College at Piers Observatory from 12 o'clock to 2 o'clock on that Saturday, on this coming Saturday.
So that would be midnight until 2 a.m.?
No. This is during the day.
Noon,
We're talking
during the day.
noon until 2 in the afternoon.
Okay, so this is going to be something you can see during the day.
That's
And
correct.
now, what more will we be able to see at your observatory?
Well, we will have, assuming that we can see the sun,
Yeah.
we'll have the telescopes out. We'll have solar filters on them, so you can look through a telescope and see the eclipse as it progresses. We're going to have solar eclipse glasses, so you can safely view it from your own eyes.
Okay.
And if we can see, we're going to have little telescopes and a projection, so you can kind of project the sun onto a wall, so you can see what it's doing at any given time.
All right, that's really cool. And how
Yeah.
rare is this? Is this something that is not so rare, or talk about that?
Well, okay, yeah. So a solar eclipse happens about twice a year, but are we in the right spot to see it?
Right.
This is what's so unique about these opportunities, is that we've got an amazing eclipse right now on Saturday, and then we've got the most perfect eclipse coming up in April this year, where it's going to be almost completely covered.
Okay, and that will we be completely affected by that?
Oh yeah. So from the Clinton, New Hartford area, it's going to be about 99% covered.
Wow.
Now, I would also suggest traveling like 30 minutes north, maybe to Rome or the Adirondacks, in which case you'll get a 100% coverage.
Wow.
But that's in April. That's not this eclipse coming up here.
All right. Okay.
But then after that,
yeah.
I just got to say, these eclipses are rare that we get to see two in North America. The next one is going to be in 2044, I think.
Wow.
So it's 20 years later, and the next one that's going to come through New York, we're talking like 2079.
Wow. So there is a great uniqueness to this moment. So
that's right.
Yeah, that's
So
really cool.
You get a chance, go out and check this eclipse out.
And that is noon till 2 on Saturday. And what do people have to do to be a part of what you're doing over at Hamilton College?
Oh, just come on over.
Come on
we'll
over.
take care of it.
All right.
Yeah, and again, it's going to be cloudy. I want to set expectations. We're going to keep an eye out. It's going to be a sun watch is what we're going to be doing.
Now, if you're in San Diego, for instance, or in the part of the United States where you're best suited to be able to see this thing in its entirety, what will you see? Will you see there this ring of fire?
Yes.
Yeah.
Definitely. So the moon, through about an hour, it'll be covering the sun. This is the shadow of the moon. It's lining up perfectly such that the shadow of the moon is cast onto Earth. But the moon is in a spot right now where it's kind of a micro moon. It has an elliptical orbit, so it appears smaller or bigger in the sky based on where it is in its elliptical orbit. And this time it's small. It's small enough that it can't cover the entire sun.
Okay, all right.
So what happens is the shadow kind of gets in front of the sun, and it creates a ring of sun.
Yep.
Around its shadow, and you get this ring of fire. Now you still have to look at it through eclipse glasses. Mm-hmm. But it's I've heard it's quite a sight.
Quite the sight. All right. So head over to Hamilton College between noon and 2 on Saturday to take advantage. Professor, thank you. Adam Lark, we appreciate your time. Thank you.
Thank you, Bill.
All right. Have a great day. I don't know about anybody else, but as you look to you go out on a nice evening and you look up, clear skies, just what you see in the sky is just, and there are apps you can get now where you literally can point your phone up into the sky, and your camera will take a look at where you're looking. Maybe it's your GPS, I don't know, and it will then identify everything, almost as if you are in an observatory like over at Hamilton College.
Yeah,
Pretty
that is
cool.
That's amazing now, the cell phone technology. I'm surprised we don't I'm surprised they don't have this filter. They say don't look at it and don't look at it through your phone. I'm surprised they don't have this filter right on one of the filters on your phone.
You may be able to get a filter, or what I saw a lot of times the last time we had one of these solar eclipses, and I don't know, was that maybe 3 or 4 years ago? It was, I think during COVID we had it, and it literally got dark during the daytime, and a lot of people were using their phones, and they were videotaping through the solar glasses, which protected the lens. It protected the lens on your camera, and you were able to get you were still able to get a shot.
I do think it was
cool.
Pre-COVID because people were they were selling tickets and they were meeting in public parks and stuff.
Right. And that was unheard of during COVID. All right, this hour we have a whole bunch to get to. Coming up at 7:25. Is that the time, Davey? Brett Baier this morning has a new book out. We've just got a few minutes with him. And to me, Brett is one of the great journalists at Fox News. He is a journalist, not an opinion person. And I think that it's so important to differentiate between the two. Somebody giving opinion. You look like you are sick as hell this morning. Are you right back to sick again?
I don't understand, man. I don't
Dear
know.
Lord.
It's like every 3 weeks I deal with this.
I am now placing Clorox wipes over my nose and face. Davey, just cover up, man.
I don't have to worry about it because I'm gone tomorrow and then I'm on vacation all next week.
Gone. Well, you're going to be one of the lucky ones. Be awful, though, if you got sick. It's not going to happen, though. Jeff is coming up, Stoney from 72 Tavern and Grill. We'll talk about I think they've done a bit of a whole overhaul with the menu and everything over at 72, so we'll get to that. And Darlene Stromstad from MVHS and the Wynn Hospital. We're getting there. We're reaching middle of the month, which means I think we're down to like 15 or 16 days right now before the opening of the Wynn Hospital. And by the way, the ribbon cutting is this Sunday.
I think Tuesday with Dr. Hall, he said 19.
19 days
so
on
it'd be
Tuesday.
17 days.
And then the other part of this whole thing is we will at some point be broadcasting over there, doing the show from over there. I'm excited. And are we all in agreement? Isn't it time for the No Hospital Downtown sign on Oriskany Boulevard over there to come down? Wouldn't it be symbolic if, it's like, hey, we tried to fight this thing. It was a tough battle.
I
but,
think
for the good of the community, it's going here. Let's take it down.
I side on the end of, it's his building, freedom of speech, that type of deal.
No doubt about it. He can do whatever he wants.
If it was, if it was up to me, it wouldn't have been up there to begin with.
In the first place, yeah. All right, I got a break. Much to do here. Hold tight. And, I should mention, Hobica's free money question of the day. We'll get to that coming up in a second. Give you a chance to win some cash. Some casharoo this morning. We'll tell you how much coming up in a second. Stand by, 723 WIBX.
Hi, this is Scott Hayes.
And this is Jill Hayes from New York Sash.
Honey, there's a lot of folks out there right now that could use a makeover.
What? Honey, you can't say that. You shouldn't say that.
No, not a personal makeover, honey. Their bathroom. They could use a bathroom makeover from New York Sash. It's our annual bathroom makeover sale. Right now, you can get 20% off your New York Sash acrylic bathroom system. It's the best price on a bathroom we offer all year.
Oh, okay. Well, that makes sense. It's the makeover everyone can enjoy. A New York Sash bathroom. Our installers will give you a whole new look in just a couple of days, with no mess, no maintenance, and no worries with our lifetime warranty.
Your bathroom will never look better. You can visit our showroom on Oriskany Boulevard in Whitesboro. Call us or lock in your discount right now online at NewYorkSash.com. Get 20% off your new bathroom.
And let our family take care of your family for less.
AmeriQ's Virtual Financial Center is now open. Perform nearly any transaction with a real person from the comfort and convenience of wherever your life takes you. Easily become an AmeriQ member. Open a deposit account, apply for a loan, and connect with the live person via video when you need us. Visit AmeriQ.org/virtualFC to get started. AmeriQ and you. Let's connect. Virtually. Membership eligibility is required. Insured by NCUA.
If you're hiring, it can feel like you're trying to find a needle in a haystack. You can hope the right person comes along, or you can just use ZipRecruiter. And now you can try it for free at ZipRecruiter.com/radio. In fact, ZipRecruiter has helped a lot of business owners find their needle in a haystack. Like Marco, president of operations at Telly Tires and Auto Centers. Because Telly Tires has grown a lot in the last few years, Marco needed to hire everyone from a receptionist to a store manager to a head mechanic.
ZipRecruiter helps me find all the right people, even the most difficult jobs to fill. ZipRecruiter helps me keep my business running.
Take it from Marco and millions of other businesses who've used ZipRecruiter. ZipRecruiter can help you find the needle in the haystack.
See why 4 out of 5 employers who post a job on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. And right now, you can try ZipRecruiter for free. That's right, free at ZipRecruiter.com/radio. That's ZipRecruiter.com/RADIO. ZipRecruiter.com/radio. ZipRecruiter, the smartest way to hire.
Ready for a smoother and safer ride? Head to Tallman's Tire and Auto Repair, your trusted tire experts. At Tallman's Tire and Auto Repair, you'll get expert advice from their knowledgeable staff, who know that every vehicle is different. And right now, it's the preseason tire sale at Tallman's Tire and Auto Repair. Buy any 4 installed Nokian snow or all-weather tires and $100 instant rebate. Get the tires you and your vehicle deserve at the best prices guaranteed. From Tallman's Tire and Auto Repair, with locations in Utica, Yorkville, Rome, and Herkimer. Online at tallmanstire.com.
Hey, and Sarah's Flooring Outlet is the area's leading flooring store for Pergo Extreme. It's a 60-mile price guarantee radius. 60 miles around the store. The best price will always be at Sarah's, bar none. It's awesome. And it's not just Pergo Extreme. It is the best selection on flooring and carpeting and linoleum. Maybe you want tile, just the options that you have, or hardwoods, real hardwoods, or maybe you want the floating floors. They have it all. It's all their largest selection. You're getting the best price, and you're seeing stuff, materials, products that other people might not have in their home because it's so unique. And sometimes having something different than what everybody else has, I think that's kind of cool. And you'll find it at Sarah's. Talk to Sal or anybody over there at Sarah's Flooring Outlet. They have you covered. There's 6 months interest-free financing. You always can take advantage of that. And go to their website, sarahsflooringoutlet.com. There's a $50 coupon you can take advantage of. Oh, the giving just keeps on giving at Sarah's Flooring Outlet, Route 49 Plaza, River Road, Marcy, and online at sarahsflooringoutlet.com.
WIBX 950 and 106.9 FM. This is Keeler.
All right, Davey, what's going on here? What do we know? Where's Brett Baier? What do we know? Okay, so we have to sit and wait, right? We have to... Okay, fair enough. And he has a new book out, is that correct? Okay. All right, this morning, Hopaika's free money question of the day. It's an opportunity for you to walk away with a certain amount of cash. So the question is, how much money is on the line this morning for today's free money question of the day from Hopaika? How much, Siri? What are we giving?
$300.
$300.
Joe Load, the troublemaker that he is.
$300 we're going to give away.
He tried pushing me to do 300 yesterday. We ended up doing 200 instead, but I said, I think Andrew was willing to pony up the extra 100, the difference, but I think it was Joanne. She didn't win.
Well, listen, Hopaika seems to be, how do I say, perturbed.
Well,
I heard from him yesterday. Perturbed, a little perturbed. Is that the right word? I believe it is. Listen, coming, WIBX and the Keeler in the Morning radio program present Jimmy Fallon and Kennedy, the Laughs and Liberty Tour, coming to the Stanley Theater on November 11th. It just so happens to be Veterans Day. Fox News Channel's naughty stepchildren have teamed up for one very special night right here at the Stanley Theater. Great seats still available by going to the box office at the Stanley or go to Ticketmaster.com, your best place to get tickets. Ticketmaster.com. And it's Jimmy Fallon and Kennedy. That Kennedy segment is going to be so cool because everyone they do across the country is different. And it's even, at one point, it'll be a question and answer. You can throw questions out to them. She'll talk about the days at MTV, et cetera, et cetera. And, of course, obviously, there's Jimmy, who's just phenomenal and amazing. It is the Laughs and Liberty Tour at the Stanley Theater, Veterans Day, November 11th. Go to Ticketmaster.com, sponsored by Keeler in the Morning, WIBX 950 and 106.9 FM. And you can get Heroes tickets. Bill and Robin Monjo at River Hills Properties put together an awesome opportunity where you buy tickets for a veteran. Buying tickets for a veteran. Give the gift of comedy to a local veteran on November 11th at the Jimmy Fallon Kennedy Show. Sponsored by River Hills Properties. Just visit the box office. Say, I'd like Heroes tickets. And you'll buy tickets. It'll be donated to a local veteran. You can also dial up the phone number. 315-724-4000 is the number. And just ask for Heroes tickets. Very, very cool. That's Jimmy Fallon and Kennedy, the Laughs and Liberty Tour, coming to the Stanley Theater on November 11th. Davey, what do you have?
Brett Baier.
It is. All right, here he is. The man, Brett Baier. Good morning.
Good morning, Bill and Jeff. Thanks for having me.
I think we ought to add you to the Jimmy Fallon Kennedy show, right?
You know, I just saw them in the hallway, and in real life, they are as funny and as crazy as they are on television. That's got to be a good show. So
yeah, you just
I'm happy to swing by.
You don't know what you're going to get, right? And that's always the the best. All right, so to rescue your new book, you have a new book out, and of course, Brett Baier is chief political anchor and executive editor of Special Report on the Fox News Channel, host of the Brett Baier podcast. Awesome if you can check that out. And the new book is To Rescue the Constitution. Talk about this one.
Yeah, George Washington and the Fragile American Experiment is what this is the fifth history book, presidential history I've done, and it's kind of this blueprint of looking at a soda straw moment in history that may have been overlooked and showing how a leader gets there and puts the reader in the room. You know, so it's a narrative read, and I really do think it shows something interesting about our founding. This one deals with after the British are defeated in the Revolutionary War. There are these years that people forget and maybe don't know that it was the most divided and dangerous time of that era. The country was being held together by what's called the Articles of Confederation, but they weren't getting it done. Different states started fighting each other, fighting tax collectors. In fact, it was so bad that people started saying, maybe we should go back to British rule. And It's then that the Constitutional Convention is started in 1787, and George Washington is recruited in his steady, thoughtful presence to be the lead to overlook this thing. And he gets all these dissenting voices searching for common ground, and he finds a way forward to this document that is our legal document that provides liberty to this day.
He was the right person at the right time, right?
He was. I mean, if we didn't have him, we would not have a country.
Yeah.
I think that this really shows the man. He's not a god. He had faults, but he was indispensable in every room.
Is it correct? I mean, that when he came to this Constitutional Convention, he came in. He had created a uniform and all. He walked in, and he was and so tall. He was the one. And can you talk about that just a little bit? I mean, he stood out from everybody.
Yeah, so that's at the height of the war. The Second Continental Congress was meeting at Philadelphia, and he walks in this uniform, and he was the tallest by far. He's very tall for the age. And there's pictures, these images, paintings of him, and he commands the room. But the bottom line is that there's a lot of hope in this book, that we can look to our history and how we were founded. And even though it's a really divided, partisan time, we can come together because we did it at the beginning, and we've done it in dark times in our life.
The book is To Rescue the Constitution, and one more parallel, if we could, with our current times. Of course, not only do we have the right and the left, the Democrats and Republicans, but of course, a huge divide right now within the Republican Party itself. And people will say it's never been this bad. And in this you offer up the book of hope that it really has, and it's been worse over time, and we made it, right?
Exactly. And so that's the lesson. Also, I wrote a book about Ulysses S. Grant. In 1876, we almost fell back into a second civil war.
Yeah.
We've been in some dark places as a country. And that's the message. And hopefully people read it and really enjoy being in the room. If you like history, this is your book.
All right, Brett Baier, thank you so much. It's To Rescue the Constitution, a very topical read about our history, and we appreciate the time. Thank you.
Thanks a lot, guys.
All right, have a great day. Brett Baier. And, you know, Brett's saying they're walking around, Jimmy Fallon, Kennedy walking around the hallways, Davey, and you never know what's going to happen. Right. He's always on, right? He's always on.
Yeah, Jimmy's hilarious. He is
very cool.
an absolute riot.
All right, let me go to investigator Sahid Karsik with the Oneida County Sheriff's Department, and this week's Mohawk Valley Crimestoppers Wanted Person of the Week. Sahid, good morning.
Good morning, sir. How are you?
Good. What do we have this morning?
So this morning we have an individual whom we are looking for by the name of Timothy, middle initial J, last name Hayes. He's a white male, 64 years of age. He's 5'8", weighs approximately 165 pounds, has gray hair and blue eyes, and he currently has 2 arrest warrants out of our agency for petty larceny out of Westmoreland Town Court.
All right, can you talk about the background of what happened here?
Yeah, just vaguely. Just like I said, this is a mere allegation. It's alleged that Mr. Hayes stole property from a business in the town of Westmoreland on 3 separate occasions.
Okay.
Once in April of 2023 and May of 2023. I do want to note that he did allegedly stole from the same business.
Okay. Obviously, everyone is innocent until proven guilty, but the beauty of Crimestoppers is if you know something, if you think you might know something, you can report it either through the app, through your phone, the computer. It's all up on our website. Just search for Mohawk Valley Crimestoppers. And Sahid, it is 100% anonymous.
100% anonymous, sir.
Awesome. All right, thank you. Have a great rest of the week. We appreciate it.
Thank you. You too.
All right. By the way, there are also rewards that are given out depending on the severity of the crime. If you give information, it could be anything. If you've seen something and you feel like there might be something off, something going on, there might be a crime. It helps make your neighborhood safer. Just contact Mohawk Valley Crimestoppers. Jeff Stone is with the Comets and, of course, Mohawk Valley Garden. And the 72 Tavern and Grill, which has been closed through the summer, is about to or has, I'll get the details. Is he on the line now? Yeah. Is about to or has reopened. Jeff, good morning.
Good morning, Bill.
Comets are back.
Tomorrow night,
the Adirondack. Anything new you want to report tomorrow night inside the Adirondack Bank Center?
Well, we have the red carpet tomorrow night in the 72 before the game for the players to walk through. And 72's been open since last Thursday, and we're open today at lunch, and we'll be open for tomorrow night.
So lunch, dinner, always when the games are going on. Talk, if you would, about any changes in the menu and what you're doing over there at 72.
Well, the one thing with the menu is that we've had a lot of menus and a lot of different things over the past years, and goal now is with the hospital coming and downtown becoming what it is, to keep that 72 open forever and not close it again in the summer.
Okay.
So
nice.
That would be the plan, and the menu right now is one thing we try to keep the price down, and everything is $19 or less. There's no $20 meals. It's just it's a great sports bar menu with some great entrees too. So,
how many TVs are there inside 72?
Oh, a lot.
A lot.
I believe there's 20.
20. All right, and some of them are really, really big.
Plus
Okay.
the big string. Yeah, 20 plus the big string. Yeah.
It is awesome to have it back. Hard to believe. Here we are. NHL is back underway as of the other night, and the American Hockey League, the Comets, back home starting tomorrow night. So, okay, good stuff.
Yeah, we're excited.
By the way, we as a consolation, you're always winning something with our free money question. The all-in-one food and fun card that includes 72, right?
Yeah, that includes 72, and then a few weeks from now we'll start our holiday promotion where it's buy 20 get 5 free, and for all the restaurants, and we're excited about the another restaurant opening up here in a new location, but we'll get to that later. And
okay. A little hint that there's something else coming.
Well, we know it's coming, but yeah, we're just
Okay.
excited
All right.
about a lot of good things happening downtown, and
then what?
Stage has been.
What about the tailor and the cook? They're going to be moving over to their new location.
Yeah, that'll be happening shortly. Yep.
That is shortly. All right.
I'll let Rob handle that one.
All right. I'm not going to step on anyone's toes here. So,
You got
all
it.
right, Stoney. Stoney and I go a
Thanks.
long ways back, all the way back to.
We go back to like where Crimestoppers could have been in your backyard back in the early 90s.
They may very well have been. Back then. All right, Jeff. Thank you, man. Have a great day.
All right.
All right, let's do Hobica's free money question of the day. We said it's $300 on the line, and this morning we're looking for caller number.
How about number 5?
Fifth caller through the lines right now at 315-736-0186. It's a chance for you to win $300. Caller 5 right now at WIBX.
Go green and save green right now at City Suburban. There has never been a better way to heat and cool your home than with a new Mitsubishi electric heat pump system from City Suburban. They provide energy-efficient comfort year-round, are whisper quiet, 40% more efficient than conventional systems, and offer room-by-room temperature control. And the best part is right now you can save up to $9,000 in rebates with the New York State Clean Heat Program while funds are available. Go green and make the switch today. And as always, receive City Suburban's POMG. That's peace of mind guarantee.
This is Chris from City Suburban on Route 233 in Westmoreland. There has never been a better time to upgrade your system than right now. You can save up to $9,000 with New York State Clean Heat rebates and make your home more comfortable and efficient for years to come. Call us today at 853-3899. That's 853-3899. Or visit us at citysuburban.com.
It's obvious. The unthinkable is going to happen soon. With all the distractions in the media, we probably won't see it coming. Your gut tells you there's something very wrong going on, and all the evidence suggests that there is. Those in charge say everything's fine, stop noticing. But you know better. American families are preparing. Folks are getting into self-reliance and investing in emergency food storage. My Patriot Supply, the nation's largest emergency preparedness company, is the place you can trust. Go to mypatriotsupply.com and secure their best-selling 3-month emergency food kits. Each contains tasty breakfasts, lunches, and dinners, averaging over 2,000 calories per day. Get at least one food kit for each family member. For a limited time, save 25%, plus get free shipping on all their 3-month emergency food kits. Go to mypatriotsupply.com today. Order by 3 p.m. and your items ship the same day. It's time to prepare for what's coming. mypatriotsupply.com.
Why are the world's central banks quietly yet aggressively amassing mountains of gold? Because they know a storm is brewing, the type we might witness only once in our lifetimes. They understand that America's vastly inflated currency doesn't have much life left. And when it finally dies, gold will be a bedrock of stability just as it has for thousands of years. Hi, Stephen K. Bannon, and I urge you to do as central banks are doing. How? By diversifying your IRA or 401k into physical gold with Birch Gold Group. This will protect your savings from inflation, political instability, and economic crashes. To see how it works, get a free info kit on gold IRAs by texting the word HEDGE to 989898. Birch Gold is the only gold company I trust. So text HEDGE to the number 989898. That's HEDGE to 989898 to get your free info kit on gold. There's no obligation or purchase required.
Hey, it's Steve Pawnee Mazda. They make it easy for you to find the right used vehicle at the right price. Thanks to Mazda's winning so many awards, and the brand is just hot right now. You see it everywhere. They're seeing record sales volume and taking in all kinds of vehicles on trade. They want to offer you one location, all makes and models, with Mazdas, Hondas, Subarus, Jeeps, GMC Dodge, Hyundais, and more. The greatest pre-owned vehicles are at Steep Pawnee Mazda. And if you need a lower price, Ricky Z says, come on in. If you need a lower payment, he always says, let's make your deal where it's easy to do business. One location, all makes and models, Steep Pawnee Mazda Commercial Drive in Yorkville.
WIBX 950 and 106.9 FM. This is Keeler.
All right, time now for our free money question of the day, and it's from the Hobeika Law Firm. Joseph and Andrew Hobeika, 315-724-1600. Jerry is in Herkimer ready to play. Good morning, Jerry. Good morning.
Good morning. How are you guys today?
Good. Let's make this work. $300 on the line this morning. $300. You'll have 7 seconds. You know the deal. And very important here, the name of this question, the name that comes from the category, the name is name the word. So what is the word? So I'm going to give you a definition, and you have to come up with the word. All right?
Oh, man. Okay.
All right. Okay, here we go. What's the word based on this definition? Remember, we need one answer, your final answer. What's the word? A shapeless mass or blob of something, especially soft food. Ready, go.
All I can think of is glop.
A glop. Julia Child would say that it's not a glop, it's a dollop. A dollop. Yeah. All you need is a little dollop of butter. That's bad. Pretty bad impression there. Okay, Jerry, we are going to give you what we just talked about, the Utica All-in-One Food and Fun card from Aquavino. Babe, 72. Taylor and the Cook. The concession stands at Adirondack Bank Center at Nexus. It's $25. Stand by. Davey's going to hook you up. And, Jerry, have a wonderful Thursday. Thanks, man.
Thank you. You guys have a good day, too.
All right. Thank you so much. He's actually creating the buzzer that they're going to be using at the Comets game in the background there. I don't know if you can hear that. All technical stuff from Jerry. Yeah, dollop. Does that make sense? Your dad's a chef.
Yeah,
he would know. He would have known the answer to that.
So I hate to admit this because I should have known that, but I would say in the last month, 6 weeks, I actually looked up the definition of the word dollop, and when you started describing it, I'm like, oh, what is it?
When they say, when you're using a recipe and they say a dollop of sour cream or whatever, you do have to kind of look at it. It's just a little blob of it. It's not a teaspoon. It's not a tablespoon. It's a dollop, which is a far less measured. Now, I think in baking you wouldn't use a dollop, but you would in cooking. Does that make sense?
I guess so.
Baking is so precise. So it's just my take on it.
Somebody's product, I think this is why I looked it up, because they say something like, do a dollop with Daisy?
It's sour cream.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, there you go.
Yep. There you go. Darlene Stromstad on the line right now over at MVHS and Wynn Hospital. Here we go. Are we down to, what did we calculate? Down to 16 days? 17 days?
Not counting today or the day we move in. It's 16 days. So 16. I'm going to choose to count today because there's a lot of things to accomplish today as well as the day we move in. So I'm counting 18.
All right.
Feels better.
Fair enough. Yeah. Well, right. I mean, especially if you have your responsibility to get everything ready. You don't want 16. You want 18. Okay, so let's talk about it. We're getting there. And by the way, this Sunday there is a ribbon cutting.
Yes, this Sunday at 1 p.m. down at the Wynn. It'll be outside. We are having a ribbon cutting, and we hope that our community turns out and throngs. We have some great entertainment. We'll have some great music, and we think this will be a day that people won't want to miss. We'll also have tours available later in the day, but it is our goal that we make memories for our community on Sunday, the 15th at 1 p.m.
You know, it's funny. We were just speaking with Chef Stone over at the 72 Tavern and Grill over at the Adirondack Bank Center, and there's something to be said for this. He said they plan to be open all the time and stay open in the summers. Now that the hospital is opening, you're going to start to see this begin to happen. It was always predicted that businesses will feed off the hospital.
Yeah, last night I was talking to some of the local businesses downtown, and they said that they definitely are seeing their business pick up. So that's, I think, great for the community.
Yeah. What kind of what should people know about the new hospital as we're getting closer? What should people know that's going to be happening between now and the end of the month?
So we are having some small groups with us at different times and trying to make people see the wonderful technology we have in the building. And then our big event, our big public event, is on Sunday, again, 1 o'clock, the ribbon cutting. We will also be having tours on Sunday for people starting at 2 o'clock that haven't been through the building yet and want to. And then we will have some minor availability of tours up until, the next week. And then we have to, close that down and get everything all cleaned up and ready for patients.
I've called this move really historic. It is a part of our history going forward. Years from now, we'll be looking back on this moment where you consolidated and moved to 2 hospitals, everything, patients, certain equipment, people, staff, support staff, everybody moved into the hospital. It's quite an undertaking that you're about to accomplish here. Talk about that if you could, and then I have a follow-up to that.
Yeah, so, I would like to say, though, that this hospital the work on this hospital started decades ago with boards, merging the hospitals and bringing us together. That's made all of this possible. So in the last year, we have been really focused on getting our building prepared, but also our people prepared. So our staff have been drilling on getting through the building, life safety codes, orientation to their own department. They've been learning new IT systems and practicing drills. So yesterday, for example, we had a mock STEMI, which is a very serious heart attack.
Okay.
I was the patient.
Okay.
So I showed up by ambulance, and the staff went through the process of bringing the patient, me, into the ED, doing what they do, transferring the patient up to cardiac cath and into the ICU. And all along the way, talking about where things were, how it worked, anything that we need to make a minor change at the last minute. It was really, really exciting, but we're doing that again and again and again so that everybody is really ready on the 29th when we move in.
I do want to ask you just a follow-up to that, and that is, have you done this before? I've always been told you are someone who knows how to open a new hospital. So have you done this before?
I was, in my first job, was part of a brand new replacement hospital. Now, I didn't have this seat. I was pretty young, but I did have a front row seat to watch it. And I understood 2 things. One, it takes years and years of focused planning that you have to spend all this time. It just doesn't happen. And secondly, that you need to have the support of your community, which it was really important to us here. So, yes, and I also understood how it has such an impact on the downtown area of your community if it's located downtown. So really supportive and not surprised about how great this is turning out because I have had that experience. But I also know enough here, and we have done a really great job, I think, of hiring excellent advisors all along the way, from our, building projects to Hamas Company that is kind of serves as our construction experts, and HCR, which is the company that's helping organize the move.
All right. Speaking with Darlene Stromstad, she is the CEO and president at Mohawk Valley Health System, which is soon to become or soon to open the Wynn Hospital in downtown Utica.
Darlene, can you talk more about the move-in day and what, for those of us who don't work at the hospital or won't be going to the hospital that day, what can we expect in the community as far as road closures, how long this will take, and so on?
So there won't be road closures because of it. Ambulances will start transferring patients at 7 a.m., and they'll take a couple from one hospital, and then they'll take a couple from the other. And it'll just be this consistent, well-timed transfer of patients. Every minute of the day, from our point of view, is orchestrated. Now, we do know that people are going to want to witness this. So we will designate some areas where people can go and park. We will not have any visitors until every single patient has been moved.
Okay.
So we're going to ask families the night before to come in and, kiss mom or dad or grandma, good night. And then we will call you when they have been moved and settled in their bed. And then we will also call you when it is time for you to come back and visit. And that will be Sunday afternoon.
I know this is kind of crazy to think about, but there will be the first patient. Someone will be the very first patient. Any plans for that person?
Well, we expect there to be a little fanfare for that.
I would think there's going to have to be, right? Yeah.
Yes. Yes.
They'll be able to.
We'll definitely be recognizing that patient.
They'll be able to walk away.
Day,
yeah. Go ahead.
Yeah, that day, all of our first patients are planning to do something for every single patient that becomes part of the first patient in a room at the Wynn.
Wow. Okay.
We have a question here
exciting.
From a Joe. Joe says, new hospital, I'd like to know what the new hospital's plan is to make sure that it is maintained and kept clean.
Oh, well, you have this militant CEO who is demanding that we not bring any junk with us. We are not going to be sticking things on walls with tape. In fact, I've said I'm going to confiscate everybody's Scotch tape rolls. But really vigilant about keeping this facility clean and up to date. And I know we can do it, and I can see people are really excited about it.
All right.
Just one more. Something that keeps being brought up, and some political candidates are bringing this up, and I hear this in the community. They keep saying their worst nightmare is that one or both of the old facilities become a place to house migrants. I know the county executive has an executive order in place. Can you talk about what will happen with those facilities at the end of this month when the move is made?
So we will have security in both facilities around the clock. We're going to need to keep the heat going, and we need to keep them secure. And that is our commitment to this community. We need to keep these buildings secure. There is a process going on for an RFP for redevelopment of both campuses. And if you look around our community, there's not a lot of large lots of acreage like there are at either St. E's or St. Luke's. These are not going to be used for migrants or anything in the interim. These facilities are going to be acquired by somebody and redeveloped. I'm sitting in my St. E's office right now, and conventional wisdom says there's a shortage of housing, and especially for people that want to downsize. So could this become a place for 55 plus to live? Possibly. And so I'm not saying that that's happening, just saying that that's sort of the conventional wisdom for this campus. And the St. Luke's campus, which is more in a business zone, that might lend itself to other use.
I have somebody asking here, how will you handle someone who is a comfort care patient? Will families not be at their side when they are potentially on their deathbed?
That is a very good and very astute question, and we will make exceptions one at a time for the comfort care patient.
Okay. And then quickly, Bob, with a question here. Bob, you're on with Darlene Stromstad. What's your question?
Oh, hi. Real quick. Hope I didn't miss it. What's going to happen in the coming days about emergency services and other services? Where do we go in an emergency during the transition? Thank you.
That's good, too.
That's a very good question, and we will be sending out letters. I think they might even have gone out, but we'll be doing a lot of publicity about this in the next 2 weeks. So at a specific time on the 29th, the ERs at St. Eve's and St. Luke's will both close. The ER at the Wynn will be open at that time. We will have ambulances stationed at both of the ERs at St. Eve's and St. Luke's. Should somebody show up there, that will immediately be transferred by ambulance down to the Wynn. But there will be lots of publicity. We'll have signage. And I would tell you, I don't know if it's 6 or if it's 7 a.m. I don't remember the morning of the 29th when those get closed. We will continue to treat. If somebody comes in at 5 a.m. to St. Luke's, for example, we will continue to treat them in that ER, but then we'll start rerouting patients down to the Wynn at a specific time.
And then I would assume that does this require extra people, extra staff for this?
Yeah, for the day it does. So we have a lot of staff that are stepping forward saying, I want to be part of this. I want to be part of this.
Yeah.
And here's why, because we're going to need to have staff at St. Eve's and St. Luke's and the Wynn. And then as St. Luke's and St. Eve's start to empty out, those staff members will travel with the patients and be down with them at the Wynn.
Darlene Stromstad, a lot of questions. We appreciate your ability to answer them and to be here for us this morning. Thank you.
Well, we appreciate all your support, and I know you have been part of telling our story for the last several years, and we really appreciate that.
Well, thank you. I am as excited as you are. I really think this is a very exciting time.
It is a very exciting time. It's an exciting time for healthcare. It's an exciting time for the Mohawk Valley.
No doubt. All right. We'll talk again soon. Thank you so much.
Okay.
All
Bye-bye.
Right. Bye-bye. I feel like we have been involved. We've been proponents of this from the very beginning. And I just feel like this is a huge step forward for the area.
And not to sound like those TV weather folks, but can you believe it's almost here?
Can you believe it's almost here? And I still stand by this. It's time for Brett to say, all right, I'm waving the white flag. It's over. Don't agree with it. Don't think it should go down. I have my reasons. And he may still be able to walk away and say, I think I will be right in the end. But it's happening now. So once you lose your battle, you got to move on. I hope that no hospital downtown sign comes down. It's not a good look for people that visit the area.
If you keep asking, he's going to light it up in neon.
WIBX, Utica Rome, it's 8:02.
The new Fox poll has former President Trump with 59% support among Republicans for president, Ron DeSantis at 13%, Nikki Haley at 10%, doubling her support from the last poll last month. Among all voters, both DeSantis and Haley beat President Biden in a head-to-head matchup, and Biden beats Trump.
The latest Fox News poll finds 7 in 10 voters think border security is too relaxed and give the president just 30% approval of his handling of the border. 57% now want to build a wall, and the increase in support on that came from older voters, Latino, Black, female, and Democratic voters.
Fox's Jessica Rosenthal. The company that owns salvage rights to the Titanic will no longer be seeking to retrieve artifacts from the shipwreck.
A planned 2024 expedition to the Titanic site by the company RMS Titanic is off. The reason? The planned leader of the mission and the director of underwater research for the company, Paul-Henri Nargeolet, died this past June when the Titan submersible imploded en route to the ship. The cancellation was cited in documents filed Wednesday in U.S. District Court by RMS Titanic, which has been fighting with the U.S. government about the 2024 mission. The government claims the plans to enter the ship's hull violates a federal law which treats the wreck as a gravesite. Kevin Uretsky, Fox News.
A potentially deadly topping on a pizza in California.
Kern County Sheriff's deputies say they discovered a freshly baked pizza next to a driver they stopped for a traffic violation. When they opened the box, they found that the pizza was topped with pepperoni and a loaded gun. Deputies also finding a large amount of illegal drugs in the car, as well as a sawed-off shotgun and another loaded gun, as well as cash, scales, drug paraphernalia, and packing equipment. 4 people in the car were arrested. Gary Baumgarten, Fox News.
Stock futures are higher ahead of the opening bell on Wall Street, and I'm Chris Foster. Fox News.
We have mostly cloudy skies and 51 degrees. WIBX News Time is 8:05. This news update is brought to you by My Carl's, only at My Carl's. Reclining sofas starting at $399 each. A huge selection of Rocket recliners at $299 each, and My Carl's in the new Hartford Shopping Center. A man already convicted of a sex offense will spend 25 years in a federal prison. The U.S. Attorney's Office says 40-year-old Chad Srogi of Vernon both had and distributed child pornography. Srogi used his cell phone and a laptop to connect to Wi-Fi so that he could commit the crimes. Back in 2020, Srogi was sentenced on a state charge for promoting a sexual performance by a child. Well, this winter is just around the corner, and according to National Grid, we're expecting to pay less. The utility company says natural gas heating bills will likely fall by about 18% during the 2023-24 winter. The drop is due to higher natural gas production and supply domestically and lower demand on the international market. People who are worried about being able to have their bills paid can sign up for the for help through the Customer Savings Initiative program. Some new data says New York State ranks number 1 in the country when it comes to teen driver safety. The study conducted by Wallet Hub took a look at factors including safety, driving laws, and economic environment. Since 2003, the Empire State has seen an 80% decline in deadly vehicle crashes where a young driver was involved. The state DMV commissioner says the report is a testament to everyone who helps prepare teens for the road. New York State taking action to help keep kids safe while online. New legislation announced by Governor Kathy Hochul will regulate kids' unhealthy social media usage. Another measure will ban platforms from collecting and sharing the personal data of minors. Months ago, the U.S. Surgeon General released an advisory about the effects social media has on teenagers. Governor Hochul says kids are in crisis and adults need to step up and help protect them. And police in DeWitt are still on the lookout for a suspect involved in the vandalism of that town's Jewish community center. A man was captured on video Tuesday kicking down Israeli flags outside of the building. Anyone with information on the incident is asked to contact Syracuse Police. WIBX News Time is 8:07. If you're looking for the top 10 most difficult colleges to be accepted to in New York State, you can find that on our website right now, WIBX950.com. Among them, Colgate University, Hamilton College, and Columbia University. That full list again on our website. It is 8:08. Here's what we can expect later today from Eyewitness News.
I'm Eyewitness News Chief Meteorologist Craig Flint in the WIBX Weather Center. Today, any lake effect rain showers drift south in the morning and fizzle. Then partly cloudy by afternoon, a high near 60. Tonight, mostly clear, chilly by morning, a low of 37. And Friday, sunshine to increasing afternoon clouds, a high of 58. For more on your local forecast, tune to Eyewitness News at 6 on WUTR. I'm meteorologist Craig Flint on WIBX 950 and 106.9 FM.
All right, let me give you, before I forget, the Keeler cash code for this hour. It is 564. 564. Just enter the code on our website, and you could win from Keeler in the morning and WIBX. All right, in sports, the Arizona Diamondbacks advanced. They swept the Dodgers last night, the final 4-2. They also made history as well. Gerardo Perdomo, Ketel Marte, Christian Walker, and Gabriel Moreno set a postseason record, all homering in the third inning. Arizona heads back to the NLCS for the first time since 2007. In Minnesota, the Twins are out. The Astros are headed to their 7th consecutive ALCS. They beat the Twins last night 3-2 to advance. Houston will now take on their West Division rivals, the Texas Rangers. Also, the Philadelphia Phillies beat up on Atlanta last night 10-2. The Phils lead the series 2-1. The Braves will visit Philadelphia for Game 4 of the NLDS tonight. Thursday Night Football on WIBX, Chiefs and Broncos. Denver has lost 15 straight games to the Chiefs, dating back to 2015. The Chiefs are expected to be without, or could be without, Travis Kelce. He suffered an ankle injury in the team's win last week. He's officially listed as questionable. The Broncos come in at 1-4. Meanwhile, the Chiefs are 4-1, leading the AFC West. The Colts placing their starting quarterback on injured reserve. Anthony Richardson will miss at least 4 games with a right shoulder injury. And again, he was put on the IR yesterday. The Jets think they have a solution for the Eagles' tush push. Head coach Robert Saleh saying that if the quarterback carries the ball, the entire team of 11 defenders will meet him at the line of scrimmage. Saleh and the players said that Jalen Hurts plays with power and speed behind an outstanding offensive line. One more.
Okay.
Daniel Jones said he's not worried about this neck injury that he suffered. He did not practice yesterday, but he said that he believes his neck injury is something that he can quickly recover from. Tyrod Taylor took the first team reps at practice, and he will get the start if Jones cannot play on Sunday night against the Bills.
I'd love it if somebody wanted to talk this morning about the new proposed school bus at New Hartford. There was a school board meeting last night that was heated.
Electric?
So, according to Kaz Tangora, and maybe we'll get him on. Let's see if we can get him tomorrow. Because this is apparently they were mobbed with people in a civil way. I don't mean to imply that there was, but there's a lot of people that came out, most of whom were against it. They'd be taking out a whole, like a wooded area that they say is home to all sorts of unique creatures, including many different salamanders that you don't find anywhere else. So nature walks and that sort of thing. And now the school is saying we're not going to be taking that much out, but I don't know. It's quite a battle, and that's an interesting one to watch. They have now tabled the resolution for the new bus garage behind Miles. Now, according to Kaz Tangora, this is not because of electric buses, that there is a need and has been a need for a couple of decades that New Hartford needs a new school bus garage. However, if you're building a new school bus garage, you're going to build one that could handle electric right at this time, and that's where they're going with it. So,
isn't the current bus garage is what, behind the high school, right?
It is over by the football field at the high school.
That's what I thought. That's where we usually park when we do games over there.
Yeah, which makes it somewhat congested over there. And I think if the high school wanted to expand in any way, they can't because of the garage being there. So definitely a battle. And especially at Miles. These are people over in that Clinton Road area that are very, very bothered. Okay, Larry asking this morning, why is it we do not have the names or the street address regarding the dog situation in Westmoreland? Is it because they are related to law enforcement or someone in the media? What do we know about this story? Do you know anything about this story?
Yeah, so it was 50 dogs, Chihuahuas, and...
These are dogs that were at a property.
Yes. So it was a home in Westmoreland. I know that.
All right.
And I said it was Chihuahuas. It was Beagles and Beagle Chihuahua mixes, right, Smitty? And they were ranged in age from like a couple of days old to 14 years old.
Yeah.
And I think part of just because they said they're a couple days old, some of them, it sounds like...
like a puppy mill, it sounds like they're talking about.
Well, but they don't sell them. You know, usually a puppy mill is just trying to churn out the dogs and sell them.
So Larry's implication is it are we being easy on this because there's somebody in the media or somebody in that may be related to a politician or to law enforcement? All I know is I believe the woman who owns the property, her name is Mary Jo Griffo, and I don't think she has any contact or any relation to anyone in government.
Why would you say that?
That's all made up. That's not true.
That's
I don't even
not
know
true.
if there is a Mary Jo Griffo. If there is, I apologize.
No, I thought it was a good point because there's something else here that caught my eye.
Why is it being kept so quiet?
Well, typically when you hear about these stories, you hear about it from the police, and the police say we had a hoarding situation.
But is a hoarding situation illegal? It'd be more. It would be more of it'd be more where an animal care agency might come in, not a criminal agency that deals in crime. Is it a crime or is it? Yeah, I don't know. I don't know the answer to that.
I had this yesterday in the summary, and I'm trying to remember the exact language that they used. It was along the lines of they were in unsanitary conditions, that the dogs were going to the bathroom on the floors, on the furniture, and they had not been let out in quite some time. So with that description, it would sound to me like
I think there's a
mistreatment
of
of dogs, right?
Want to necessarily say that this is the case. What, Davey?
6 of the dogs they sent me last night were pregnant.
Oh boy!
So, and that was another thing. The
Hussies.
The CNYSPA said that they were working to, in very short order, that all the animals would be spayed and neutered. Then they would be up for adoption.
When you see a person who has a hoarding problem, and the house is just a disaster, right?
Right.
And maybe there are kids involved, and all of a sudden CPS gets involved, and they have to do something to. That oftentimes I think is more of a mental illness issue than it is a criminal issue. And that's why I kind of wonder if the same thing is going on here. But here's the problem. We automatically think when something isn't released that we're not being told something. And chances are that is true. But that's something that might not be told to you may have something to do with the person's right to privacy and the fact that this is not a crime. It's not like somebody got mad at a dog and tied the dog to a tree out when the temperatures were below zero, right? And
Correct.
kicked the dog, hurt the dog. It seems like they got overwhelmed and, I'm not sure that is worthy of a public shaming.
Well, but again, though, for the SPCA to come in and remove all of the animals, you would think that because they couldn't come to your house and say, Bill, we're taking your dog. Well, why? I didn't do anything wrong.
It may be a more of a mental health issue than it is a criminal issue.
Could be.
So, we don't know the answer. So you've been talking about this story on the website. I'm telling you something. These, if you have a grandkid or a kid who's trying to get into college right now, maybe they're a junior in high school or a senior in high school, it is unbelievable. You want them to go to the greatest place, right, to the greatest colleges and universities. And yet there are great opportunities, too, with CUNY and with SUNY schools in New York State where you can save a heck of a lot of money. But just giving you an idea about the acceptance rate. So your kid's fighting to get into school A, B, or C, and you find out that so this year they're going to, and this comes out every year. It's like you can find last year such and such a school's acceptance rate was this percent. So that is, of all the students who applied to that college, what percentage actually got in? What percentage of new students are they accepting? And it will blow your mind when you look at the numbers. So, for instance, Columbia University in New York, average acceptance rate is 5.23%.
What college was it?
Columbia.
Oh, I thought Columbia was 4%. That was the big headline.
5.23% average acceptance rate. Now, that may mean that that this is 2021, I believe. So that may mean, I don't know where your 4% comes from, but either way, 5.23% is a terrible number, right?
Yeah.
And it goes even further. Cornell University, their average acceptance rate, 9.94. The West Point, 10.52%. Barnard College is 10.52%. Cooper Union for the Advancement of Science and Art in New York City, Average acceptance rate, 15.83%. They admitted 393 students in 2021.
Wow.
Hamilton College, our own Hamilton College, the acceptance rate is 16.12%. Hamilton is a very unique school, though. They base people on I believe you are based on acceptance, but whether or not you can come to the school, if you can't afford to go to that school, you would still go to that. They make accommodations for, you're not going to be able to, you wouldn't turn down Hamilton because you couldn't afford it, I guess is what I'm saying. So Hamilton is on the list, and then NYU is a 16.53% acceptance rate. Colgate, 21.12%. Vassar, 21.12%. These are New York schools. And the list goes on and on. It just becomes so difficult to get into these schools. Even Binghamton has an average acceptance rate of 42.6%.
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
Binghamton. That's almost, that's close to 50 almost. When you consider others are in single digits.
Correct.
That's a large percentage.
Well, it is, but, you're less than half of the students who actually apply will get in. And it makes it so very difficult and competitive. It's an awful time. Springtime, when these kids find out where they're going to school, trust me, I've just recently gone through it.
Yeah.
A few years back. It's a very difficult time. They get all emotional. And I say, you should just follow in my footsteps. I went to Herkimer. It wasn't competitive to get in at all. It's very easy. In fact, I think acceptance rate is probably, 100%. You apply, we're going to get you in. We're going to get you in.
Be a lot cheaper for you, right?
It would be a little cheaper. It would be a little more affordable. All right, coming up, we're going to talk to Rick Lewis at the Rome Capitol. We have there's a new book out, which is very interesting from a local author, Scott Petoniak. We're going to speak with him. John Decker from Gray TV is on. A whole bunch more. And people are really concerned about you, Jeff. They think you look like you're very, very ill.
I'm freezing. I've had the chills on and off.
He's very ill. Stay in your booth, Davey. All right, we'll come back here. It's 8:21. Speaking of that, maybe you should pay a visit to, what do you think? The Falcon Clinic in Washington Mills. I'm just saying, they're accepting new patients. The Falcon Clinic is the area's premier osteopathic medical clinic, and they're accepting new patients right now. Are you in need of a new family doctor? In need of a specialty issue? Maybe you're having, I just have a friend just recently who went to the Falcon Clinic with Dr. Chmielewski, and he had severe back issues, and his back was way out of alignment. He's been going from chiropractor to chiropractor. Nothing has worked. Well, you combine the osteopathic approach with modern medicine at the Falcon Clinic, and it might be exactly what you need. I received a call from my friend who said, your recommendation to go to the Falcon Clinic was exactly what I needed. I'm walking out the door. When I came in, I could barely walk. Pretty awesome. Call the Falcon Clinic, Dr. Chmielewski, Dr. Zielinski, Dr. Kosminski, and others, all under one roof. You don't need to call for a referral. If you need a new family doctor, they have you covered as well. Call today, 315-507-4751. Jeff, that number again is 315-507-4751, the Falcon Clinic in Washington Mills.
Fall in love with being home again with a new mattress from Central New York's newest furniture and mattress store, Ashley, in the Marcytown Plaza on River Road in Marcy. Shop our huge selection on display and in stock by Ashley, Sealy, Stearns & Foster, and Tempur-Pedic. Right now, Ashley Hybrid Queen mattresses are just $6 a month for only $2.99. Sealy Posturepedic or Ashley Anniversary Queen mattresses, firm, plush, or pillow top, your choice, just $12 a month for only $5.99. Plus, experience better sleep and save on a luxurious Tempur-Pedic Queen mattress, just $41 a month or $21.99. Plus, get a $300 gift certificate with every Tempur-Pedic set. We have free mattress delivery, and we offer special no-interest financing for every budget with up to 5 years interest-free. Whether it's for the spare room, the kids, or yourself, Ashley has the mattress you need in stock and on sale right now. Save in-store only at Ashley in the Marcytown Plaza on River Road in Marcy. Stop in today.
Life happens, and at Mohawk Valley FCU, we are here to help you through life's ups and downs. It's not always easy. Life isn't perfect. That's why Mohawk Valley FCU goes above and beyond for their members with higher interest accounts, superior service, easy loan approvals, and so much more. With locations on River Road in Marcy, in the State Office Building in Utica, and with mobile banking, you'll receive the best service no matter where you are. Mohawk Valley FCU now welcomes all Town of New Hartford employees. Member-focused, member-driven. Visit MohawkValleyFCU.org.
Are you sick of being just a number or doing a mindless job? Become a craftsman in a trade. Become an IBEW electrician. The IBEW and the Electrician Training Alliance will give you all the tools necessary at their state-of-the-art training facility. Earn as you learn. Paid training while you get your certification. What are you waiting for? Become an IBEW Local 43 electrician. Call or go online today to learn more. Find your career at IBEW and let the Electrician Training Alliance light up your future.
Ready for a smoother and safer ride? Head to Tallman's Tire and Auto Repair, your trusted tire experts. At Tallman's Tire and Auto Repair, you'll get expert advice from their knowledgeable staff, who know that every vehicle is different. And right now, it's the pre-season tire sale at Tallman's Tire and Auto Repair. Buy any 4 installed Nokian snow or all-weather tires and $100 instant rebate. Get the tires you and your vehicle deserve at the best prices guaranteed. From Tallman's Tire and Auto Repair, with locations in Utica, Yorkville, Rome, and Herkimer. Online at tallmanstire.com.
The Community Foundation of Herkimer and Oneida Counties is your community foundation. Together, we've invested $125 million in the community, thanks to people, families, and businesses that want to give back and build a brighter future. And you don't have to have big bucks to make a big difference. Join us as we invest in the future of our community. Learn more about your community foundation at foundationhoc.org.
A lot of Kanoli's energy started to bounce back.
She has a lot of puppy moments, and she'll be 14 this summer.
What did these dog parents do for their dogs? They switched to Nature's Blend, a premium freeze-dried raw dog food made by Dr. Marty Goldstein, a veterinarian Forbes magazine called the Miracle Worker. It's the easiest way to support your dog's easy digestion, nourished skin, playful energy, and most importantly, their healthy, full life.
I'm so confident your dog will love it. Your order is back with a 90-day guarantee.
Save up to 54% off Nature's Blend and get a free full-size bag of Tilly's Treasures dog treats. They're best-selling beef liver dog treats while supplies last. Go to drmartypets.com/deal or text DEAL to 511-511. Go to drmartypets.com/deal or shop in over 2,000 stores nationwide. Use the store locator to find the store closest to you. All pets are unique. Your pet's results can and will vary. Message and data rates may apply. Studies available upon request.
Begin a career that changes lives, including your own. Join the Prime Care Coordination Team and assist people with intellectual or developmental disabilities and their families. Are you ready to make a difference? Prime Care Coordination is conducting open interviews on Wednesday, November 1st from 10 a.m. to 3 p.m. at Prime Care regions across the state, including their Utica location at 2608 Genesee Street on the upper level. Save the date. That's Wednesday, November 1st. Get more details, including salary, benefits, and more at primecareny.org/careers.
WIBX 950 and 106.9 FM. This is Keeler.
Hey, portions of the program this morning brought to you by Brank Construction. Rocco and David Brank. If you're in need of any concrete work, masonry work, driveways, sidewalks, cellarway entrances, chimney, stone walls, brick walls, they have you covered. If it's concrete, there's plenty of time to pour concrete and get on the list and get it done before winter. Call them today, 315-894-3481. 315-894-3481 for Brank Construction. Dave, you got some lies. I see you got it. Sorry. Rich this morning. Richard. So I'm assuming that the gas price difference from Syracuse to Utica isn't an issue. 60 to 70 cents more here in Utica isn't a major topic. Come on, Bill. You know we have a monopoly here, and Cliffs and Bull Brothers, you need to blow this up unless you're getting a kickback. You never know. Yeah, well, I got to tell you.
Are you working on Cliff's campaign?
I am. I now get 30 cents off. So for every plug I give them, I get another 30 cents off per gallon.
And if you get enough plugs, you get money back.
That's
on
right.
top of
That
it.
is
So,
right. That is right.
Wow.
You think the price chopper deal is big? You ought to see my deal. Yeah,
Wow.
that doesn't exist.
Bill is kidding. Yes, we have to say it slow for some of our audience members because they're going to think that there's a conspiracy going on.
I really do not have a deal.
Satire not to be taken seriously
Sarcasm.
by anyone.
So, but I will say yesterday I was driving back from Niagara Falls last night, and I thought, well, I'm not going to get off the thruway to get gas, but if I can see a spot here on the thruway where there's a really good price, I'm going to jump on it. And it was like $3.86 on the thruway. Rochester, Syracuse, Westmoreland was in the range of $3.86.
Wow.
There was no savings there. So I didn't do anything with it.
Here we go. Let me find
Have you ever gotten cheaper gas on the thruway in your life?
Yes.
You have?
Yeah.
Holy cow.
Yeah. See, because what happens is the thruway is on a different cycle. And every once in a while, if gas prices are going up, the thruway will be slower in terms of bring the price up, and you'll get a much lower price. It does happen.
Wow.
In fact, I'm going to tell you, we were down, I don't know, maybe been about a year ago. I don't know what was going on, but as you got further down into the Hudson Valley, the prices went way down on the thruway.
Wow.
But up here, it was more. I don't understand these.
Well, there's probably somebody right now looking to see if there's cheap enough gas and down towards New York and going to drive down there to save a nickel.
To check it out. I'm going to drive all the way down there. I'm going to save a nickel. Manaski.
On Gas Buddy's website here, I've got stationed in North Syracuse, 332, Camillus, 333, another North Syracuse, 333, East Syracuse, 333,
There's no question
Clay,
about
336.
Wow. It is. You're saving about 50 cents on a gallon of gas. That is significant. Yeah. And then I wanted to bring up one more story. This is off KTV. Had this, and did you know that there were 26 local church members of the Baptist Tabernacle Church from Utica who were traveling to Israel last week, and they were just getting ready to land when the war broke out. And Israel began getting attacked. They ended up landing, but they were driving from the airport to their hotel. The streets were completely vacant. They got into their hotel, and the bombing was going on, so they had to take cover. This is unbelievable.
Yeah.
And you think you're on a these may be missionaries or doing something in the name of God, but here you are, right in the middle of a war-torn country.
Yeah, and you might be going there for humanitarian reasons, but you are also entering a conflict which is based on religion.
Yeah.
So that makes it a really,
right.
a tough one.
Rick Lewis in studio here this morning. Rick, good morning.
Good morning.
All right, so what are we pushing? You are a Rome Capital pusher. You
push. My gosh. Well, it's strange.
You are a pusher.
Well, wait, we are talking about promotional pushing of entertainment.
It is what you do.
Well, October, for some reason, has turned into like an incredible month of activities going on. And this week, we have the mother of all movies, the Rocky Horror Picture Show.
Well, it's that time of year, right? We get towards Halloween. Here we go.
Yeah, and was it ever a Halloween movie?
I don't think so.
I think it was just a movie that went out and probably like some of these other films. It was a grindhouse movie that people used to go and see. It was cheap and it was always playing. And
I love how you're questioning. Like, why are people putting this out during Halloween? It's ridiculous. Although I booked it for Halloween at our place.
I mean, it's funny. I guess it's the one time if you want to participate in a movie that requires odd dress and behavior. This is the time of year to do it. You can get away with it. I mean,
still a lot of fans for Rocky Horror.
Yeah, we've been having it for 2 nights, totally booked out in the cinema in the past, and this year moving it to the Capitol Theater for 1 night. And so instead of having several hundred people over a course of 2 nights, bring them on in. Let's go. Let's make it one big party in the Capitol. So.
All right, really cool. So how do people get involved?
Well, it's Saturday night, 7:30. at the Capitol, and you can get tickets online, and I don't think it's going to sell out of tickets, but one thing that does sell out occasionally, and unfortunately, are the prop kits. And those who are familiar with going to the Rocky Horror Picture Show are familiar with prop kits, because things happen on the screen and they're reenacted in the audience. And there's a whole kit of those, and we have those there. And it's we have what we call safe prop kits. There is no flames and sharp objects. And I was just thinking of when we did the zombie walk. I was doing the zombie walk in Utica, and we were up to like 1,000 people parading down the street. And then one year, the police came and they talked to us to organize it, and they said, "This year there will be no weapons, no guns, no."
So there were a lot of fake props, prop
guns. We have
yeah.
safe ones at that. But what really upset the zombie enthusiasts were, "What do you mean we can't have a real gun?"
Wow.
Walking down the street with real guns. They were really doing that. So we have safe kits at the.
All right, they're safe. And they're plentiful right now, but they're gonna run out.
Yeah, the kits. I would suggest going to RomeCapital.com and getting a kit to be safe. You will be able to get tickets. I mean, I really hope I disappoint a few people and we sell out of our 1,500 seats. I don't think that's going to happen, but the prop kits, they may be. After a few hundred of those, they may.
Is that going on this Saturday?
That's Saturday night.
Okay, 7:30
at the Capitol Theater in downtown Rome. Beautiful downtown Rome.
Okay. All right, sit tight. We'll let you talk more about what's going on if you have some time.
Yeah.
I want to talk to Scott Petoniak, who is a best-selling author, award-winning journalist. Davey, this is Buffalo Bills, right? We're going to be chatting about where I was out in the Buffalo area yesterday, and it said that everywhere you turn, you see what, Davey?
Josh Allen.
Everywhere you turn. There's like you can buy the bust where it looks like Josh Allen is in the back seat of your car.
It's like a sticker you put on the window?
Yeah.
Oh,
it's
my gosh.
all over. They love Josh Allen. All right, so we'll talk to Scott coming up in a second. Stand by. We'll come right back. It's 8:36 WIBX.
Hi, it's James.
And Megan.
From the all-new Destination Kia of Utica.
And during our grand opening sales event, we have smoking deals on new Kias.
That's right. We were just able to get a truckload of new 2023 Kia Sportage LX all-wheel drive SUVs.
And you can lease one for just $388 per month for 36 months.
And that's with just $995 plus tax to its signing.
An all-wheel drive SUV that gets 32 miles per gallon highway?
Now that's kooky. It's just one example of the deals on over 250 new Kias, here and coming.
So go kooky for Kia at the all-new Destination Kia of Utica. Puppies and babies not included.
2023 Kia Sportage LX all-wheel drive in P7206025. MSRP $29,950. 36 months, 30,000 mile lease, 20 cents per mile over. $995 plus tax and fees due at inception. $0 security deposit. $650 acquisition fee included in payment structure. $400 disposition fee. 720 plus FICO score. Kia January to December 2022 sales report. EPA rating. Offer expires 10/31/2023.
Rome Mayor Jackie Izzo.
As a business person, I saw Rome stalling, ran on a platform of a new beginning where we needed to concentrate on economic development, housing, jobs. And I think we've delivered on all of those. But not only that, we've done so much more. We've taken care of our infrastructure. We have increased job opportunities throughout the community. We've brought in over $70 million in grant money. Private sector investment is up near $350 million, probably more than at any time, even when Griffiths was built. And so the new beginning really doesn't have an end. That's why we need to continue this great work into the next 4 years. This has been the best experience of my life and the most humbling experience to work for the taxpayers of the city of Rome. And I hope that you will give me that opportunity to continue our work this November with your vote.
On Election Day, vote to re-elect Mayor Jackie Izzo. Let's keep Rome moving forward. Paid for by friends of Jackie Izzo.
Hey, River Hills Properties is the fastest growing real estate company in central New York. Nobody sells homes like River Hills. And Bill and Robin Monjo, some 15 years ago, decided let's start a real estate company. But let's separate ourselves from everyone else by being different, offering up services that others don't provide. Your lockbox, never used with River Hills. Every time your house is shown, your listing agent is there before anybody shows up, making sure the house is ready to be shown, lights are on, best foot forward. It makes a huge difference. All working for you as the seller. That's the River Hills way. The book, 40 to 100 pages, filled with everything there is to know about the home, improvements, warranty information, etc., etc., etc. A great tool for a prospective buyer. They go out of their way to assist. They work harder, they work more in helping you sell your home. Why wouldn't you list with River Hills? Offices in Barneville, Little Falls, and Utica, servicing all of upstate New York. Nobody sells homes like River Hills Properties.
WIBX 950 and 106.9 FM. This is Keeler.
All right, Scott Petoniak is a best-selling author, and he's on the line right now. The book is If These Walls Could Talk, stories from the Buffalo Bills, and et cetera, et cetera. There's a lot to talk about. Hi, Scott. Good morning. Thanks so much for coming on.
Hey, thanks for having me, guys. Always great to be back in the hometown area.
Well, I was in Niagara Falls yesterday, and everywhere you turn, you're looking at Josh Allen. Pictures of Josh Allen, Halloween ornaments, Josh Allen. It's become, and even last week when on Sunday morning, that was tough to watch. Josh Allen really was putting the ball where it needed to be. And they just weren't catching the ball. So red hot right now, Allen. But, man, we can't have another day like this past Sunday.
Well, you're playing the Giants this week. You'll be fine.
You think so? Okay,
yeah.
Good.
Yeah. They can show up, and this is going to be over. I hate to say that, but Josh is it. He's God right now. Josh is what Jim Kelly was back in the late 80s and the early 90s during that Super Bowl run. He's the face of an entire region right now, and as Bills fans do, they do bemoan things, and they always worry about when the next shoe is going to fall, and the next wide right or 13 seconds or whatever. But I'm telling you, particularly in today's NFL, you got a quarterback, an elite quarterback like him. You always got a puncher's chance, And I think the worst thing that happened out of the London game, obviously, are the injuries that continue to mount with this team on the defensive side of the ball. And losing Matt Milano was enormous. But but you got Josh, and as long as you have Josh, you have hope.
Okay, so you're using, obviously this is sideline, locker room, press box stories. If These Walls Could Talk, as told by longtime play-by-play voice of the Buffalo Bills, John Murphy, right?
Yes. Yeah, John and I, we go way back. Like, I started covering the Bills in 1985 when they were terrible and there was talk about them leaving town. And John started as Van Miller, the original voice of the Bills. He started as his sidekick a year before in 1984. So John and I would sit down for about this took about a year and a half to put together. And it was like, old home week every week when we sat down and started reminiscing and going through the players and the games and the coaches and the GMs and stuff through the years. So it was really a labor of love to do this with John and a reconnection and rekindling of our friendship. But there's stories we go back. I love this, and we kind of started the book out this way with the intro, in that John Murphy's very first game, and he's a Buffalo native, a Lockport native.
Yeah.
His very first game is in the old rock pile, the War Memorial Stadium, January 1st, 1967. The Bills are heavy favorites to beat the Kansas City Chiefs. And, all they got to do is they win this AFL championship game. Yeah. They go on and they play in the first Super Bowl against Vince Lombardi and the Green Bay Packers. But, of course, no. 9-year-old John, gets exposed to, heartbreak and what was going to lie ahead in terms of his life as a Bills fan and his career as a chronicler of the Bills. So it was kind of, in a way, it was kind of fitting. It kind of set the scene for him. Like, here's what awaits you, John, being a Bills fan.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, it's, imagine being a Bills fan like I am and a Mets fan like I am. Life is tough. It's not easy.
You know, it's one of the funny things though about that that back-to-back Super Bowl appearances, and obviously they were all defeats. I don't know if we'll ever see that again. I mentioned in sports this morning the Astros have made it to 7 consecutive championship games. As disappointing as that was, that team was so good and so dominant on that half of the league. They just couldn't get that one game.
It's amazing.
Yeah. I mean, it's. I agree with you. I don't think we'll ever see it again. And the game has changed dramatically even since then in terms of free agency. And now you have to, when you do have the Josh Allen or the Patrick Mahomes or the Jalen Hurts, you got to, at some point you got to pay, and you got to take up a huge percentage of your payroll, and you have a salary cap in the NFL, so that you got to do that within this window of opportunity, or else you're going to have a lot of problems. You're losing the supporting cast. You can't keep everybody under the financial structure of the current NFL. So to be able to do that 4 consecutive times, and I think not only from from the financial economic structure of the NFL, but I also just think of how do you convince these guys to keep coming back after heartbreak? And I think as time has passed, even though they didn't win one, I think the respect among football historians and fans has only grown. When you look back at that, wow, they were, it kind of reminds me of the Brooklyn Dodgers of the 50s that just couldn't, one time they finally did beat the Yankees, but they were a dynasty in their own way, but unfortunately the Yankees were there at the same time.
I was just going to say, if you think, too, included in that was the most historic comeback ever. Would they trail 35-3 at the half? I mean, that is unbelievable.
Yeah.
And then to be shut down after that, obviously disappointing. But boy, I can't imagine some of the stories in this book. There's got to be some incredible, stories from this really incredible team.
I want to get to the stories in a second. Speaking with Scott Petoniak, Scott, if you could, what is it? I mean, that was a home game on Sunday morning. The Bills Mafia, which is called Bills Mafia, is amazingly supportive. But there's something unique about Buffalo as an NFL city, where Jim Kelly sticks around and he's still a huge part of Buffalo. Fitzpatrick. Oh, he was the backup quarterback, and then starting quarterback, and then leaves Buffalo. He's still under contract in the NFL, comes in, takes his shirt off in the middle of the snow, and is rooting for the Bills last year. I mean, what is it about Buffalo where it's not just the fans, but the players love this city? They love Western New York.
Well, I think part of it is the passion of the people. I think you have to admire, the Bills, with all their heartbreak, represent a region, and just like in Central New York, I'm a native of Central New York. We in upstate New York, we have to hear about, your weather's horrible, your winters, it snows in August here. No, it doesn't. And we have to hear about all these things. Oh, your economy's horrible. We're the butt of jokes and this and that. But we know from living here in upstate New York, man, this is a great, great place to live. I mean, it really is. And I've been, my job has taken me around the country and around the world. And I'll tell you this. So there's something about the people here that are resilient. They develop thick skins. They go well, you really don't know. You outsiders, and this is what you say. But I think when people get there, and they live and they see the people and they become part of that, it really grabs hold of you. And I think that there's a lot of that. With you mentioned Kelly, Thurman Thomas lives here, Steve Tasker lives here. There's a ton of guys that stay here because they love the people, and they love the area.
Do you have a favorite story in the book?
Oh, I don't. There's a lot of them. There's some humorous ones. I mean, there's when John was doing a talk show, and you guys will appreciate this, and they had 2 really characters, and Fred Smerlis and Jim Haslett were on one night. And they were just wild. You didn't know, you got ready to push the button because you didn't know what was going to come out of their mouths and so forth. So one night they're on, and this happened to be in the early 80s, and the NFL's on strike, 1982. Mm-hmm. What you have to understand is Buffalo is a huge union town. And so the NFL players are on strike, and obviously when athletes are on strike, who we don't care, right? How can we relate to, millionaires arguing with billionaires, right? So anyway, they're on there and they're trying to defend their position, right? And the callers are giving them a lot of grief and so forth. So finally Hazlitt, and again, you got to remember, this is an enormous union town at the time, and particularly in the auto industry. And so Hazlitt makes a comment about well, we're not greedy people like the auto workers, the auto union. We're just looking for our and the minute Murph said, the minute those words came out over the airways, he goes, "Oh no, I can't believe he just said that." So you can imagine the entire panel lights up, and then it's just they're just now the people are piling on, blah blah blah, and Smerlis just he is so incensed because he's reacting like a football player, like I'm going to hit you or this and that, and so during a break, they go to a break. And the panel's lit up, and so they're not on the air, but Hazlitt goes down, he hits each button, and he goes, blank you, boom, blank you, boom, blank you. Now, it didn't go on the air because it would be, FCC, we'll see you, we own you now.
Yeah.
But that was, but it was such a knucklehead, to do that. But, there's stories like that. And I think the most poignant stories, John talks openly about, suffering the stroke, toward the end of last season and coming back, trying to come back from it and stuff. And he still isn't back on the air yet, though he's made tremendous progress. And we hope that he'll continue and then, eventually resume. But there's just a ton from the Super Bowl years and Josh and on and on.
Great. If these walls could talk, stories from the Buffalo Bills, sideline, locker room, and press box. John Murphy with Scott Petoniak, and it is a must-have for a Buffalo Bills fan. Quick question: have you ever had a Buffalo chicken finger sub?
No.
I'm told it's now bigger in Buffalo than buffalo wings. The Buffalo chicken finger sub. I've not tried it yet, but I have plans to go back and try this thing. It's exactly what you might think it is. It's buffalo sauce with chicken fingers on a sub. It's it's baked in the whole buffalo chicken finger sub. Scott, you got to try it next time you're out. All right.
Well, I definitely will. I'll make sure I'll keep the fire extinguisher right near me too.
You might need it. You might definitely need it. I'm assuming this is available wherever you get your books, Amazon and everywhere else.
Yes.
Get this book.
It is.
All right. Good stuff, Scott. Thank you so much as always.
Hey, guys, thanks for having me. I appreciate it.
Thank you, Scott.
Good talking to you. All right. Got to get that book. That'll make a great little holiday gift. Davey, right? Little holiday gift right there. The Buffalo Chicken Finger Sub. Heard about it before? Have you ever heard about it? I'm telling you, from what I'm hearing, it is something special. What do you have there, Davey?
Our buddy John Decker.
Tell Rick E. Lewis he looks like Louis Tiant, ex-Yankees pitcher.
Oh, wow. I wish I had Louis Tiant credentials.
Yeah.
But,
he had a unique delivery, right? A very unique
he used to
pitching.
turn backwards.
Yeah,
it
would come be over top a little bit. Yeah. Wild. All right, I want to get to, can I just keep flowing here? John Decker is the chief White House correspondent with Gray TV, and he is on the line right now. John, good morning.
Hey, I'm good morning to you. Louis Tiant, of course, also played, I think, most of his career for the Boston Red Sox. Right?
I believe so, yes. Yeah.
Very impressive.
Well, we have him in the studio right now, not really, but someone who apparently looks like him.
But I don't speak Spanish.
Oh, okay. All right, John. Well, listen, just craziness. I have to say that it looked like they were making a move, Republicans, for Speaker.
Yes.
They had Scalise. I think he'd be the best chance at trying to work across the aisle, quite possibly. But that is not what these far-right members of the Republican Party are looking for. And sure enough, it goes nowhere.
Well, that's right. So yesterday, secret ballot vote, 113-99. Steve Scalise beats Jim Jordan to be the Republican nominee for Speaker. And Jim Jordan, to his credit, turned around and endorsed Steve Scalise. But the problem is not everybody that voted for Jim Jordan is going to vote for Steve Scalise. About a dozen holdouts or so Karl Rove, who was the chief strategist for George W. Bush, calls these holdouts on so many things in the Republican Party the chaos caucus, whether you call them chaos or dysfunction, but something is showing a disunity within the Republican Party.
Yeah.
And that's the reason why there's no vote that is scheduled on the House floor as we speak right now, because Steve Scalise does not have the necessary 217 votes to be the next House Speaker.
So it almost seems like we're in a really amazing stalemate here, right? The Democrats are not going to help out Republicans.
They are not.
You have, and there's no way Republicans are going to go any further to the left than they did with Scalise, who's probably the one guy who might be able to work with Democrats, but the party doesn't want that right now. So now if you go far right, you go way out there, the moderate members of the party are going to say no way, and the Democrats aren't going to help them out again. How do we get there?
Yeah, I think that one way to get there, you asked me how, one way is, you may recall, Donald Trump. He endorsed Jim Jordan. To be the Republican nominee for Speaker. Donald Trump's endorsed candidate lost. And I think one way you get there is for Donald Trump to insert himself once again and instruct those who voted for Jim Jordan to say, look, we need to show some unity within the Republican Party, and instruct those holdouts to vote for Steve Scalise. I think Donald Trump holds a lot of sway with those people. Clearly, he didn't hold enough sway within the Republican conference itself.
You know, it's interesting that Trump, because what happens is if Trump tells you, this is what I want you to do, it's not the fear of Trump, it's the fear of his supporters, especially in a potential primary. That's the big fear.
Well, that's right. It is a fear amongst some, but I think that those who come from districts that were won by Joe Biden in 2020 likely voted for Steve Scalise as the next Speaker of the House because they feel that Jim Jordan would not be helpful in their cause to win re-election. So as things right now, this is not helpful to all Republicans, let alone the people that come from those swing districts, because it shows, this dysfunction within the Republican Party. They're all up for all 435 members. They're up for re-election next year. This is not a good look, if you say we want to hold on to power in the House of Representatives.
All right, and then we're looking at, obviously, it's so important right now to have a Speaker of the House with everything going on, including Israel. And maybe because of Israel, this is such a huge and horrific story.
Well, it is a horrific story when we hear and read and see what it is that this terrorist group, Hamas, did to civilians, to women, children, infants, in attacking these residential areas, that concert venue in southern Israel. And today we see Secretary of State Antony Blinken showing support, solidarity for Israel with a visit with Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu. He also has another important role, and that is chief diplomat. He's trying to win release of those Americans who are being held hostage by Hamas in Gaza, and he's trying to, do so with the help of other countries, quite frankly, including Qatar, which actually has a direct line of communication with Hamas. So hopefully he's successful. We see the safe and quick release of those Americans and everybody else, by the way, who's being held hostage by Hamas.
Before we let you go, I did want to get your take on George Santos. It looks like the New York delegation, we spoke with our congressman here. It looks like they're going to be asking for, they're going to be introducing a resolution that would, is it oust Santos, or what's the plan here? What are you seeing?
Okay, here's what I think is going to happen, and we'll see if I'm right. Here it is, October the 12th. When the House finally has a House Speaker, they can get to all the business that the House needs to take care of, and including this particular resolution to expel George Santos. Once Republicans have a House Speaker, I would start the stopwatch, because I think a month from that point, George Santos is going to be expelled from Congress.
Wow.
He has lost his chief ally. and that was the Speaker of the House, Kevin McCarthy. He is expendable now. We see his vote doesn't count for much when you have 12 individuals that are part of this chaos caucus. So I think he has. He's essentially, you look at him, he's dead man walking. He's not going to be in the House of Representatives much longer.
All right, interesting, and it's here it is on the 12th of October, John making the predictions. So far,
right.
Your predictions have been very, very good. And by the way, a quick reference to sitcom television. Which TV show had the evil organization called Chaos? I'm pretty sure that
would be Get Smart.
Get Smart.
Get Smart.
99?
Yes. Co-created by Buck Henry and Mel Brooks.
Oh, that's awesome. Awesome. I knew you would know that. I knew you'd be
There
there,
you go.
John. All right, have a wonderful week. Thank you so much, John.
Thanks so much. Have a great day, a great weekend. We'll talk next week for sure. Bye-bye.
All right, thank you. John Decker, Chief White House Correspondent with Gray TV. All right, Rick, this weekend, Rocky Horror, 7:30 at the Rome Capitol.
Saturday night, yeah.
Saturday night.
Yeah.
Check it all out. We're done. We're back here tomorrow morning. Davey, enjoy your vacation. You're going to be off for a few days.
I'll be here on Monday.
All right. WYBX, Utica, Rome. It's 9 o'clock.
News. That pledge from Secretary of State Anthony Blinken in Tel Aviv, Israel, meeting with leaders there about the war with Hamas terrorists in Gaza.
The number of innocent lives claimed by Hamas's heinous attacks continues to rise. Among those, we now know that at least 25 American citizens were killed.
Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu calls Hamas an enemy of civilization.
The massacring of young people in an outdoor music festival, the butchering of entire families, the murder of parents in front of their children, and the murder of children in front of their parents.
1,300 deaths are reported in Israel, another 1,300 in the Israeli military strikes in Gaza. And the Israeli government says fuel, power, and water will remain cut off to Gaza until hostages are freed. The UN says 383,000 people there have been forced from or have lost their homes. Social Security beneficiaries get a 3.2% raise next year. It was 8.7% this year. It's a cost of living adjustment based on inflation. A woman accused of murdering a professional cyclist in Texas escapes from custody briefly.
Caitlin Armstrong was attending a doctor's appointment with 2 Travis County deputies Wednesday when she ran off after leaving the medical office, but she was recaptured after only about 10 minutes. Armstrong is charged with killing professional cyclist Mariah Wilson, who was found dead at a friend's apartment in Austin in May. Detectives believe it was a love triangle. Armstrong's boyfriend admitted to having a fling with Wilson and had seen each other the day of her death. Armstrong was mistakenly released by police after her arrest in May. She managed to get out of the country and was arrested in late June in Costa Rica. Tom Rigotti, Fox News.
Initially expected yesterday, now there is no vote scheduled for Speaker of the House. For now, the Republicans' nominee Steve Scalise does not have enough support among Republicans to win on the full House floor. America's listening to Fox News.
WIBX News Time is 9:02. Another chance to win Keeler's cash. Your code this hour, 259. 259. Just enter the 3-digit code on our website, and you could win cash with Keeler and WIBX.
The Rocky Horror Picture Show is coming to the Rome Capitol Theater for one night only, Saturday, October 14th at 7:30. Visit RomeCapitol.com and get your ticket and prop kit for a total interactive experience. The Rocky Horror Picture Show for one night only at the Rome Capitol Theater, Saturday, October 14th. Dress to impress.
We all like convenience, right? ATMs, takeout food, drive-through pharmacies. Now, Bremer's is making it just as convenient to enjoy your favorite wines and spirits with Bremer's to go. It's simple. Place your order at bremerswineandliquor.com or save $5 on your first order with our mobile app. Order before 5 p.m. for pickup the same day. Hey, you could even call us when you get to the store and we'll bring your order right out and load it in the car for you. Now that's convenience. Maybe you're planning a party. Maybe you want to stock up on your favorite wines. Or you just want to save time when you're out and about. Whatever the reason, at Bremer's, we're all about incredible customer service. So when you're on the go, we are. Order at bremerswineandliquor.com or save $5 with our mobile app. Order before 5 p.m. for pickup the same day. It's Bremer's to go, available 7 days a week from